free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Need your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Hey guys, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Bailey's Fine Jewelry makes it easy for you to find the perfect gift for the one you love. Bailey's has something for everyone and every budget. They have a huge selection of jewelry and gifts, highly sought-after pieces from David Yurman, Hippolyta, Lagos, and Bailey's collections, as well as an impressive array of diamond jewelry. Visit Bailey's in Raleigh, Cary, Rocky Mount, Greenville, and Charlotte, or at baileybox.com.
Hello? I'm a Marine. It took me a long time to make this call.
If you or a veteran in your life is experiencing thoughts of suicide, dial 988, then press 1 to reach the Veterans Crisis Line.
It is I, Juan Carlos Santiago del Santiago, the coolest man in the world. Yes, I am back in Raleigh. Do I go downtown with so many places to party? No, I go to the Shakey's place. The good food, the fine drinks, the coldest of beers, and of course, the many, many beautiful people. I always hang at the Shakey's place, the coolest bar in the world, because, well, it was built for me. Juan Carlos Santiago del Santiago, the coolest man in the world. The Shakey's place, 8800 de Raleigh Road by the Shelley Station.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner, looking at mostly cloudy skies for this afternoon. A high of 40, but breezy, so feeling more like upper 30s out there. Down to 22 tonight under clear skies, and tomorrow we're mostly cloudy again. Expect a small chance of a shower with highs in the upper 40s.
3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 476 points to 49,025.
Evans is open on the right. A ball faking a drive. Down the lane. Counted in a foul.
Fades. Leans in. Shot blocked away. Peck has the ball in the win. NC State pulls it out. 84-83.
Stahl on a break. Stahl shoots. And scores! The captain picks the corner. Back for Claude Giroux. 45 seconds left. Samson. Bussy there. Bussy gets across and makes the save. The Canes clear this one.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is a hockey night in Carolina. We are one step closer to the Tar Heels hosting the Blue Devils. We are one step closer to the Super Bowl. We have 4 more big game boxes contestants to register today. It's a good day here on The Drive. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. We have giveaways, we have games to play, we have fun exercises. The Olympics are starting up already. Opening ceremonies haven't happened, but the games have started playing. There's a lot of stuff to get to. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you are as well. So let's jump in. As always, we start The Drive with the Big 3 at 3. Number 1, Carolina Hurricanes. Tonight, their final game before the Olympic break. The Olympic freeze for rosters went into place yesterday at 3. We talked about that, but they actually have a game after the roster freeze. Tonight at the Rangers, 7 p.m. puck drop, 6:30 Storm Watch. You can hear it all right here on 99.9 The Fan, as well as the 99.9 The Fan app. Brandon Bussey expected to be in net. He puts his 22-3-1 record on the line tonight against the Rangers. There's a lot of make this about you for the Canes, right? You want to make sure you go into the break on a good note. You want to make sure you play things the way you want, confidence, all of that. There's also some storylines that are outside of your control. Things like it's Keandre Miller returning to see his old team for the first time on the road. So there's some of that, Keandre Miller revenge game, question mark. Perhaps it is time for him to break out his 2-goal game that he does every month or so. The Brandon Bussey storyline, right? This is the last time we'll see him for 3 weeks. There's also what the Rangers are dealing with. They just traded Artemi Panarin yesterday. They could easily be a little rattled, right? They could easily be a team that's confused. Why didn't we get more? What's going on here? Oh, so we really did punt this season. Cool, guys. Which is why, if I were putting together keys to the game, I think this is one of the opportunities where this very cliche key to the game actually applies. Start fast, right? I think the longer you let a team that could be potentially rattled hang around, the more they're going to believe, the more they're going to forget about what had them rattled in the first place, the more they'll just lock in on the game. However, if you smack them in the face early, they might go, our own front office gave up. What are we doing here? We got a break coming up. I got golf scheduled for tomorrow. I got a boat charter for fishing scheduled 2 days from now. What the heck am I doing out here playing hockey? You can kind of make them quit early if you jump on them first period, physical, score some goals, get ahead of them.
I don't know. Rangers have been giving up. Like Chris Drew with his letter months ago. And guess what? You got JT Miller. Some of these other guys are off to the Olympics. They're probably like, you know what? Just get me to Italy.
That's a great point. I guess there's even another level of checked out where, you're untying your skates and there's still time on the clock where you can get there if I think you start fast and you make it obvious. So that's a key to the game if you're looking for one tonight as the Canes take on the Rangers on the road. Again, 7 p.m. puck drop as well as a 6:30 Storm Watch with Adam Gold. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan. That is, of course, number one. Let's get to number two.
Number two.
The Olympics have gotten underway. They have started. As I said earlier, the opening ceremonies haven't taken place, but they actually start many of the events prior to, especially the ones where there's like a larger bracket and you've really got to whittle down, or you need time between each competitive game because of, you can't play hockey every night the way you might be able to play some other sports. I believe women's hockey, big win for the United States already.
That's right, 5-1 over Czechia.
5-1. And it was 3-0 when I checked. So, yeah, got a little lackadaisical with the defense. Gave up the one. We'll make it work. We'll be okay with it. But it's I am a sucker for the Olympics. It's so cool. And there are sports that, and I'm not unique here. This is kind of the way I think a lot of the sports adoring public treats the Olympics. There are sports I don't understand. I don't care about. I don't pay attention to. I don't even know where or if they play it for every 3 years and 10 months out of my life. But for that month where the Olympics are going on, I become a diehard fan. Skeleton, do they do skeleton or luge in between Olympics, or is it just?
I'm sure there's some competitions.
They come out of hibernation every 3.5 years to qualify, and then become their country's heroes. It is exciting. Curling, another one. Which, by the way, curling was the first. They had 4 matches to start the Olympics for curling. That was kind of the true kickoff. 4 minutes into those first matches, power outage in the arena. So Milan Cortina, whatever you want to call it, Milano Cortina, not off to a hot start as a host. We'll see how the ice is for hockey. We'll see how everything else goes. But just know I'm in. And I was just talking with somebody. The men's hockey games for the United States, I believe the ones they have scheduled are all for 3:10 Eastern time.
Which is wonderful.
Which means over the next couple of weeks, if we're talking about a college basketball game and you just hear me go, yeah, that means there's probably a goal going on in the Olympics for Team USA.
I'll have to probably create some sort of USA goal scoring sounder.
I'll provide. I'll just scream because I'll be into it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Anything going on at the moment that we should be paying attention to? I think the main one was the women's hockey, which we already went over there. They were ahead of and won. But I don't think there's any we'll keep you up to date if there's any Team USA out there. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is number 2. let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
The NFL awards are tonight. Just super busy time on the calendar, and they're throwing the NFL awards in, which means everything from MVP to protector of the year, whatever. They're adding an award for offensive lineman of the year. There's a whole bunch of awards being given away, and we're going to learn who is the Hall of Fame class amongst the modern candidates. So the super traditional, you are a player, you retire, 5 years later you become eligible for the Hall of Fame. They can induct up to 5 names per season. It is I think what most think of when they think of a Hall of Fame class. That's what we'll learn today. So this is, there's also the seniors, the special categories, the influencer, whatever you want to call them. Looking at the traditional can be up to 5 class, there are 2 names I think that most people locally will be paying attention to, and that is Luke Kuechly and Torrey Holt. They're different in their arguments. They're different in how we will be paying attention to them. Torrey Holt is very much, it's time to right an injustice. He should have been in a long time ago. He's not yet, so make it happen, right? Put him in. He is statistically easily a Hall of Famer. And then in storytelling of the game, easily a Hall of Famer, right? Because of what those Greatest Show on Turf Rams did and changed the game and everything else. He was a key factor in there. Put him in. He obviously college, played at NC State. And then Luke Kuechly, and he's still around the area a bunch. He and his brother, their foundation and everything else, they're locally involved. And then Luke Kuechly played for Carolina. His argument is just it's a longevity thing. There's no doubt he played like a Hall of Famer for the entirety of his career. It was short due to him deciding to wrap it up, right? And concussions played a role in that, and everything else that comes with being a heat-seeking linebacker that lays the hammer when he reaches the ball carrier. I think he gets in, whether it's this year or next year or the year after, I don't know. I think he gets in, though. And it's probably deserved to be right here in this window starting now, not first ballot last year, just because of longevity. And then any point from this point forward, it makes sense. There is a bit of timing involved with this, okay? You need to kind of be eligible at a time where there's not a bunch of new hot names becoming eligible. This year's a tough one. Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald will be going in. Perhaps a Jason Witten. These are all first-time eligible guys. So that limits the possibilities for everyone else. But I believe Kuechly and Holt and Kuechly, whatever order you want to put them in, are Hall of Famers. Then there's the current awards. I thought perhaps somebody like Canales might sneak into like a Coach of the Year nominee, right? Not win, but be a nominee, one of the finalists. Did not. The local rooting interest is an Offensive Rookie of the Year. Tedero McMillan, I think, would be the favorite, right? I think would be the guy, but there's a few quarterbacks got to deal with. Jackson Dart, obviously famous. Tyler Shuck, a cool story being not a first-round pick. But McMillan, if you watch the games, and I know everybody across the country doesn't watch Panther games every week, if you watch the games, he's the best offensive rookie that played this year.
If Jackson Dart or Tyler Shuck wins the award, then just go ahead and make every other position than quarterback ineligible at this point. Because Tyler Shuck started, 8 games? 9? Jackson Dart played in, 12?
That's been I've been
for real.
Just because I overthink everything. That's obviously been a take about MVPs for a long time, right? Why not just make it a quarterback award? I actually think there's currency conversion rate, whatever it's called. You have to be 1.7 times better than the quarterback in order to win MVP at any other position, and the conversion rate changes by position. Like running backs, 1.7 times. Wide receivers, maybe 2.1. To be any defensive player, you have to be 4.2 times better than any quarterback to win MVP. It has to be that. But I think McMillan clears even that. If you say a receiver has to clear, 2.5 times as good as the quarterbacks, I think he did it. I think his closest competition is probably somebody like Emeka Egbuka for an Offensive Rookie of the Year. But he had just such a up and down year. It's McMillan. If it's not, I'll be pretty upset, and you'll hear about it on tomorrow's show. If he is, I'll celebrate, and you'll hear about it for much, much shorter on tomorrow's show because it'll just be good. They got it right, and we'll move on. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Part of the reason we'd have to deal with it fast tomorrow is because we'll be talking about everything going on over the weekend, including Duke at Carolina men's basketball. Yesterday, we talked about keys to how their defenses could stop the other team. Well, let's put the other side of the coin out there as well. What can the offensive schemes for Duke and Carolina do to make it miserable for their opponent defensively? That's our next question, and we'll answer it along with some audio from John Shire coming up next.
Welcome to Take 5 Oil Change.
Hey, which way is your waiting room?
Oh, you can stay in your car. It only takes 10 minutes.
I can stay in? Get out. I better find a good playlist to listen to while I wait. EDM? Nah. Oh, what about something classical? Nah. You got any suggestions?
Dad rock?
Now you speaking my language.
Take 5. The stay in your car 10-minute oil change. It's bow time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $6.99.
Leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $6.99.
So crispy.
So crispy.
And juicy.
And juicy.
So much flavor.
So much.
Stop it. What are you doing?
What, you expect me to get this delicious deal and not say anything?
You're unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
With a boldly seasoned leg and thigh, choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea, it's a deal so good it's worth repeating. So eat and repeat while it lasts. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Dine in, drive through, or tap your favorite delivery app and have Bojangles come to you. Satisfy your craving for flavor right now with Bojangles 2-piece dinner. 2 pieces of Bojangles dark meat chicken, your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and iced tea for just $6.99. That's right, just $6.99 for limited time at participating Bojangles. What are you waiting for? When you're hungry, it's always bow time.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Trimble pushing the pace, gets deep, draws the foul, and gets the layup to go. Another three-point chance for the Hill.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Getting choked up. we have Duke at Carolina this weekend.
It gets people in their feels.
How glorious. I really do have something in my throat. Hold on. There we go. All right.
Well done.
Turn the mic off. Get it cleared out. Get rolling. No excuses. Play like a champion. Number 4 in the country, Duke at number 14 in the country, North Carolina on Saturday. Top 5 picks, top recruiting classes, good transfers. There's a little bit of everything. There's a little bit of everything, as if that rivalry needed any more. And we're kind of going to the offensive side of the ball, although, yes, we acknowledge basketball, you play both ways. I'm dividing it up almost like a football game. Yesterday, we talked about what the defensive schemes could do to give fits to their opponent. Now we're looking at the offensive side. When your team has the ball, and I'll start with Duke because when we go to the UNC side, we're actually going to use some audio from John Shire to help tell the story. Here's my key for Duke's offense. Play big. And not just the big guys, right? Obviously, Cam Boozer, Patrick Gungba, they're going to have a power advantage over most teams they play. The way I've been explaining this to people, Trayvon Spillers for Wake, I've always thought of him as a strong player, a player that kind of can body people, plays above his height, right? He's a player that started at a community college, goes to App, plays his way up to Wake, and had to convince everybody along the way that he's big and strong enough, despite maybe not being the tallest post player. When Wake played against Duke and he was going against Gongba and Boozer, it was like, oh, wow, their shoulders are like 10 inches wider, more broad than his, and you could just see a difference. So, yes, lean on that strength, lean on that size down low, but also remind yourselves that Dame Sarr is 6'8", right? Remind yourself that Hemania is 6'8". Remind yourself that Isaiah Evans is 6'6". Caden Boozer 6'4", but stocky. And if you look at UNC's perimeter players, especially the way their rotation has settled recently, Derek Dixon 6'5", Trimble 6'3", Powell and Bogovats are skinnier 6'6". I think you can, to avoid depending on the three, which is something that Duke has struggled with this year, use your height to your advantage all across the board, right? And if you can draw with Boozer's perimeter skills, maybe a Vesar away from the bucket, you can still have a height advantage in almost every matchup and attack the rim and have an advantage with your size, right? Here's the question for Duke this year, whether it's this week or not. Will their lack of elite three-point shooting matter, right? That's what the story is now. And one way you make it not matter is by being recklessly efficient, scoring regardless of who's doing the scoring from inside the three-point line. And I think they have the ability to do that due to some of their size. Now let's go over to the other side. What can UNC do when they have the basketball to make Duke's life more difficult? There is going to be a theme when we talk about UNC. Everything they do, and this is not an exaggeration, everything they do is about how many different ways can they benefit from the elite ability of Caleb Wilson and Henry Vesar. How many different ways can they benefit from it? And that means them scoring. That means taking advantage of the attention they bring. That means taking advantage of their versatility. That means everything has to be about start there and branch off. And part of that is just because they're really good players. John Shire, head coach of Duke, was asked what's impressed him about Caleb Wilson, who's obviously on the other side this weekend.
He's a terrific talent. Seen him for a couple of years. He's really progressed. Saw him, play with Cam and Caden, on the Knight Riders team that they had for their great Peach Jam run and Peach Jam championship. Really good competitor. Obviously, he's an explosive athlete. He's dynamic. He can do a lot of different things on offense and defense. But the competitiveness, I think has been, high level, and the ability to impact winning in a bunch of different ways has been really impressive watching him on film.
Pay attention to that versatility comment, right? The different ways, everything he can do. Now, let's hear what John Shire has to say when he combines Caleb Wilson with Henry Vesar, and they talk about the front court as a whole and the threat that they possess for UNC.
They put a lot of pressure on the paint. They post up, they transition offensive boards, they get to the free throw line, and then they're also capable from three. They're a better shooting team, no question, than last year. And so I think that ability to put pressure on the paint and then space better, they have. They have two really good players, in Wilson and Vesar in that front court where they can pass. They're versatile. They're versatile, so they can go inside and out. But I think that just their length and their size inside is a big strength that's different, and it's kind of the way I've known them, how we've always competed against them. I mean, it's always been that way with them having big guys inside, and they have that this year for sure.
Boom. Here's what I would do if I were North Carolina. I am going to locate who Malik Brown is guarding, and I am going to take the other big and give him the ball on the perimeter. And I think you're going to end up with pretty good mismatches there, right? You have to trust your guys to win against some elite players, don't get me wrong, but you can get the ball to one of your elite players that you want to have deciding the outcome against somebody who might be less comfortable out there. So if Malik Brown is guarding Caleb Wilson, I want Henry Vesar with the ball on the perimeter because it's probably going to be a Gongba, right? It's probably going to be perhaps a Boozer, meaning Cam, which is less of a mismatch, but still something that I think you would be interested in having. And if they sag, then Vesar can shoot, right? And he can pass, and you can have your advantage. If Malik Brown is not on the floor or if he is playing defense against Vasar or anybody else, Caleb Wilson with the ball on the perimeter would likely have one of those two defenders as well. And then you have to trust his athleticism and his elite ability to get the win for you, or to get that possession a win for you. So I think with the versatility, you just heard John Shire in two different answers go in basically the exact same direction of these guys can do a ton of stuff, right? They're very versatile. They have the size to go down low, but they can go out to the perimeter. Use that. It's not a secret, but versatile bigs have never been a secret, right? It's very hard to hide in a gym if you are 6'10 plus and you can shoot and you can handle. But the beauty is they don't have to be a secret, because they're really hard to deal with if you get them matched up against somebody who's less versatile or more comfortable doing one specific thing.
I think Carolina, in order to put those guys you mentioned, Vasar and Wilson, into those advantageous positions, it can't be iso ball for those guys. Yeah. One thing that Duke is doing this year defensively that's different than last year. Last year they switched on everything. They had the defensive versatility to do it. This year they're not. So I remember even watching against Virginia Tech, some guys just getting caught up in ball screens and off-ball screens for Duke. If Carolina can play a little bit more with the tempo and how they move the ball on the offensive end of the court, I think you'll be able to get some of those favorable matchups for Vasar and Wilson where the defense is moving, and then you get the defense rotating. And I think that's where Carolina can exploit Duke. But they have to get guys moving defensively.
And I'll agree with you in one very specific way. Wilson and Vasar then have to be very, very quick decision makers. It can't be, okay, I have the matchup I want. Okay, give me the ball. All right, let me pivot, triple threat, jab, ball fake, go. It has to be catch, attack, catch, shoot, catch, find the mismatch, go, because guys like Malik Brown and so many of the other Duke players, the Dame Sars, who are elite defenders and have wingspan, they'll get into help position quick. And then you win your mismatch. Congratulations. Here's Malik Brown, one of the best defensive players in the ACC waiting for you. So it does have to be on almost hyperspeed. But it's not going to be easy for either of these teams. It never is when these two teams get together, right? The key is do this. That doesn't mean this is simple. A lot of times it's really, really difficult, but I just think that's your best chance. So use a bit of your versatility there with your two best players. And I think this is maybe just like the way I think of things. I'll live and die with my best players. You know what I mean? If they have an off day, I'm going to keep giving it to them, keep asking them to make decisions because I no regrets. I like going down with those that, dance with who brought you kind of thing. I want to see those guys have it on their shoulders. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, at least as much as you can. We have the Dean's List coming up in just a few minutes, but first, Dennis Cox.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here real quick from my good friends over at Law Tigers. I've been talking about it over a couple of weeks now, about how the Law Tigers are once again teaming up with your Carolina Hurricanes to give one lucky Caniac a custom Canes Ducati motorcycle, courtesy of Art Moto Garage and Shiny Side Paint. Well, actually, I swung down right here in Raleigh to Art Moto Garage. I wanted to see the bike in person, that Ducati, that V4. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is an awesome-looking motorcycle. On the front fender, you got the Strut and Stormy on there. You got Canes logos, the black and red color. It is absolutely outstanding motorcycle. Go to caniacsbike.com. You'll see pictures of the bike right there. Again, caniacsbike.com is where you enter for your chance to win. Go check it out at Art Moto Garage. It's located right here in Raleigh. It was painted by Shiny Side Paint, located right here in Raleigh, supporting a team that's right here in Raleigh. You have until March 29th, folks, to enter to win this bike. But don't wait till then. Go to caniacsbike.com and enter. The bike will be given away live on April 4th at the game, and it includes tickets to a catered suite. Just saying. caniacsbike.com, enter for your chance to win. The bike is awesome. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, gets to the Dean's List. Coming up next. Stick around.
For 100 days, I'm going to cross the 7 continents because the answers to everything important are out there at the edges of our world. I'm stepping into the unknown. Where are we going? To see our planet.
This is amazing.
as it's never been seen before. From pole to pole.
Pole to Pole with Will Smith from National Geographic. Now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Show me the way.
See if you're a winner every night. Watch live lottery drawings on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. That's right. Carolina Pick 3, Carolina Pick 4, and Carolina Cash 5 numbers every night on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. See if you're a winner before you go off to bed. Get your lottery numbers live every night.
North Carolina Education Lottery.
Only on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news.
Hey, it's Amanda here, back again with Coach Pete. Coach, every time I turn on the TV, it's just like doomsday, and I'm scared to invest and all this. What should we do? How should we avoid all of this mess?
You know why they do that? Because you keep watching. If
true.
it bleeds, it leads. They just say in the news business, they never show good news. So the good news for you is that there's ways around the bad things, but you need to isolate yourself from all the minutia and all the talk that's out there. So put a plan together, make sure that plan is bulletproof, and then don't worry about what they say on the news because your plan's not tied to the news anymore. So we need to get our plan away from the bad news, and we do that. We put together income plans that only give you the upside potential of the market, never the downside, and they give you a lifetime income. Amanda, our clients love this. A lifetime income they can never outlive, and their spouse never outlives. If you want your own income plan, folks, that'll put you in control of retirement, call right now.
That's all good news, Coach. 919-794-7900. 919-794-7900. Or text Amanda to 600-700.
Amanda Daughtry is a paid spokesperson. Investment advisory services offered by Capital Financial Advisory Group, a North Carolina registered investment advisor.
John Porcelain here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. You know the big game is right around the corner, and it's time to start thinking about big game parties. Don't be that guy that doesn't get the best wings in town. So order your wings today from Buffalo Brothers. Come and get Buffalo Brothers Big Game Special. 2 large pizzas and 20 wings for just $50. That's food for the whole family at more than 20% off. But remember, order today as pickup times fill up fast. Buffalo Brothers. Oh man, now I want wings.
Post Malone presents the Big Ass Stadium Tour returns for part 2 with special guests Jelly Roll and Carter Faith. 9-time Diamond Certified Phenomenon Post Malone. Live at Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte, June 9th. Presale for City Card members is available now at livenation.com. The Big Ass Stadium Tour Part 2. This time, it's even bigger.
4th and 6 from the 12. Gets the snap off with 2 seconds to spare. Rifles, end zone. Justin Jolie leaps up. It is a touchdown on 4th and 6, a 12-yarder. Pack's going to win the game. 20-11 with 1:47 to play.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're going to have some fun later this hour. We're going to obviously we'll have some fun with the Dean's List. We always do. But we are putting together, or we already put together, and we're going to reveal our all-time almost Canes team. Inspired by the Artemi Panarin trade yesterday, which, by the way, we're hearing some reports on some of the moves surrounding that trade from Panarin, or that put Panarin from the Rangers to the Kings. And we'll get to that next segment as well. But we're putting together the all-time, all the rumors and all the fans wanted this guy to be a Cane, and it never happened team. And it's fun. There's some names on there that'll jog some memories.
It's a pretty stacked lineup.
Yes.
Just want to go and throw that out there.
A lot of very, very good players were almost Canes. So that's coming up later. But for right now, right here on The Drive, it is time for the Dean's List. Dean's List, where we highlight those in the college sports world, related directly or indirectly to the college sports world that we love so much here in the Triangle, that deserve a little extra praise. I'll start with UNC and NC State football. They both, you heard the Justin Jolie highlight there before the break. Not talking about current players, not talking about the players graduating and going pro this year, talking about the players representing those teams in the Super Bowl. State and UNC, active rosters only, not going to practice squad and injured reserve and everything. 3 players each active on Super Bowl rosters total. Only Alabama, LSU, Michigan, and USC have more. than State and Carolina. Alabama was 7, have more than both combined. LSU 5, Michigan and USC 4, NC State and UNC amongst a handful tied with 3 next up on that list. So, your players, some stars, some role players, doesn't matter, representing your squad at the highest level. Duke does have 1. Shout out Jake Bobo.
Lenore Ryan has 1.
Lenore Ryan also has 1. A bunch of high schools in the area have 1.
Yeah.
But for now, it's State and UNC. At least that's my entries onto the Dean's List. More Dean's List. 2 of these players are right here in the triangle. But I'm putting stud freshmen at Blue Bloods. College basketball. Duke, Kansas, and Carolina. Those are pretty good storied programs, right? Duke, Kansas, and Carolina.
Yeah.
They've put out, some of the best players in the history of basketball. They've had national championships, Wooden Award winners, future NBA All-Stars, Hall of Famers, the like. Right now, all 3 of those schools have freshmen that are averaging more points than any freshman in their school's history. Cameron Boozer, Darren Peterson, Caleb Wilson are all averaging more points than any freshman in their school's history. Boozer at 23.5, Peterson at 21.1, Caleb Wilson at 20 even. No freshmen at Duke, Kansas, and Carolina have ever averaged that much. That's insane. The players that played at those schools. I'm not going to list them because then we'll just be here all day. That's insane. Do you have some Dean's Listers you'd like to throw out, Dennis?
I do. I actually have a group of them right here.
Let's hear it.
Caroline Harvey, Kirsten Sims, Layla Edwards, Tessa Janicki, Joy Dunn, Ava McNaughton, Abby Murphy. All those players I just mentioned, all 7 of them, all part of the U.S. women's national hockey team, all currently playing college hockey.
Oh, wow. That's old school.
7.
That's like, I just watched that 1980 Miracle on Ice documentary on Netflix.
Oh, I need to watch that.
Is good, but it is like, the guys are obviously older now, but they're talking about like the coolest sports moment ever, and they were still, for the most part, practically college players, right? Fresh out of college.
Yep.
That's a memory that you'll take with you for your life.
Yeah, 4 of them, University of Wisconsin.
Go Badgers.
Yeah.
At least those 4. That's pretty cool. I'm very jealous. Very jealous. But also pulling for you. More Dean's List. Bryson Howard, who's committed to Duke, basketball player, 5-star. But also not like Bryson Howard is just a placeholder for all McDonald's All-American Game snubs. Hat tip to Jeff Goodman of the Field of 68. He kind of uncovered this, which sounds like there's a scam, and who knows, maybe there is. So Bryson Howard is, by every recruiting site that I could find, you're talking 247, ESPN, On3, whoever, individual lists by individual evaluators, a top 20 recruit in the country, okay? Most have him as like a unanimous 5-star. He did not make the McDonald's All-American game, which puts 12 players on each roster, so there's 24. Darius Bivens, and I'm not doing this to disrespect Darius Bivens, but you'll see why his name pops up, who is ranked by those same lists in the 80s or 90s, sometimes just outside the top 100, did make the list. Did make the McDonald's All-American game, despite being on average like the 92nd highest ranked recruit. Bivens plays for Joe Wooten at Bishop O'Connell High School. Wooten just happens, and this is, again, Jeff Goodman did the discovery. Wooten just happens to be the chairman of the McDonald's selection committee.
Imagine that.
So a top 17 recruit did not make the McDonald's All-American game, yet a consensus 80-plus recruit did, and that 80-plus recruit happens to play for, at his high school, the chairman of the selection committee. How does this happen at every level of college and amateur, not even amateur, every level of sport? Right? When the when the college football playoff committee has like acting athletic directors on it, and they're like, well, look at that. The conference that really benefits me gets all this extra love. When committees should be non-biased. They should be unbiased. They should be completely objective. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And who cares? He didn't get to play in an all-star game. The McDonald's All-American is cool. That is a really, I don't care. Oh, he's a 5-star. He's going to Duke. Cry for him. I hear you. And I'm not saying we should start a GoFundMe and go give him but it matters. It does. Quick funny story. I don't even know if he'd be mad that I say this, but shout out to my buddy Will. He's my college roommate. He walked on at the University of Delaware, eventually earned a scholarship and played for the Delaware basketball team. So very good high school basketball player. Needless to say, not a McDonald's All-American. He did somehow convince the front office that he was selected to be in the McDonald's All-American game, and they went over the loudspeaker and congratulated him to the entire team for making the McDonald's All-American game.
That's funny.
He walked on at the University of Delaware.
That's funny.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Just because you bought a Big Mac doesn't make you an All-American.
It was kind of like that. It was, and the ladies up front. He tells the story funnier than I do. Ladies up front were like, "Oh, congratulations! Oh, we're gonna let everybody know. Go walk to your class so you can hear it." And he went down there and listened, stood up, took the applause, then did not play in the McDonald's All-American game. But still, get the committees unbiased, objective. Make them fully objective. Come on now. It's easy to do. It's really not that hard, and it shouldn't be that hard. And that is the Dean's List. Here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Dennis, we have two things to look forward to right now in the very, very immediate future. One of them is we're going to put together the all-time Almost Canes team in just minutes. The other is big game boxes with The Drive. We have caller number 10 right now at 919-860-5326 will receive 5 randomly assigned boxes in our big game boxes with The Drive game here. It is, big game. You've been to a big game party. You know what we're talking about. You get the grid, the squares pool, you get the numbers, and then you root for the final score to fall on your corresponding pair of numbers. The person with the box containing the correct pair of numbers at the end of the game will win a signed football from Derek Brown, defensive tackle for Carolina, one of the best players in the entire league. What you have to do, though, is call in right now and be caller number 10 to get your 5 randomly assigned boxes. Call in now, 919-860-5326. Dennis will get you all sorted out, and we'll go from there. Also, right now, I want to tell you all about Miller Lending. Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. Miller Lending offers something called a no-cost loan, and I encourage you to call and ask more about it, but I'll give you the run of the quick, as if you need more, right? It's a no closing cost loan. I'll give you some details, but it says it right in the name. No closing cost, right? If you've ever bought a house, and I know I was surprised by it the first time I did it, even though they tell you about it. You go to closing and you need this other big fat check for closing costs. And you're like, wait a second, so I got to put this gigantic amount of money, the most money I've ever invested in anything with a down payment here, and then I got to go over here and I have to have a monthly payment ready. Cool, we've budgeted. But you just want this other big check at closing costs? Yeah, that's usually how it goes, unless you call Miller Lending. No closing cost loan. No cost loan. Right there in the name. Again, I want you to call and ask more questions, learn how they do it, why they do it, and how it can help you be flexible and adaptable enough to take advantage of a volatile market as much as you possibly can. The number to call is 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. 77, or visit them online, millerlending.com. That's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, and MLS number 250-2146. We'll take a break. When we come back, the all-time, almost Carolina Hurricanes roster. Stick around.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group, and we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a go-see. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
Canes hockey is back, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your Canes on the ice. Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside, official hard tea and lemonade of the Carolina Hurricanes. Sold in arena and at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Looking for the ultimate big game play? Come catch all the action at the Dugout Tavern and Grill in Apex. We've got a massive 16-foot surround sound video wall so you can watch every play and the famous ads in all their glory. During the big game, the Dugout is serving buy one, get one half off appetizers and $15 Sweetwater buckets all day. Come back Fat Tuesday to watch the big college rivalry basketball game with the Dugout and cheer on the athletes in Italy with $6 Peroni Euro Lager during the winter games. Catch all the games at the Dugout Tavern and Grill on Kelly Road in Apex.
Leaves, water, debris. Hi, this is Hallie with Roofworks. There are a lot of things that can wreak havoc on your commercial property, and we are proud to be there for our dedicated customers that depend on us. From helping to design and build the roof for new construction, to maintenance, repair, and replacements, we've got the experience that you can count on. At Roofworks, we don't want to be the biggest, we just want to be the best. Visit us at roofworks.com. That's roof, WERKS.com.
Hey, it's Tim Donnelly here, and I want to make sure everybody knows that Bailey's Fine Jewelry is proud to feature the largest Omega showroom of its kind, offering an unmatched opportunity to explore the brand's full collection. And this year, that means just a little bit more, because Omega has been the official timekeeper of the Olympic Games since 1932. So, if Omega and their timekeeping and all of the technology and innovation that you can have on your wrist is good enough in the extreme cold, high speeds, and intense physical conditions of the Olympics, downhill skiing, speed skating, where every tenth of a second matters, well, guess what? It has to be good enough for you. And, in my personal opinion, they also look so darn sharp. I am a massive fan of Omega watches, luxury timepieces, and that's why you should stop out at the largest Omega boutique of its kind inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location.
Across Ehlers back, they score on the power play. A beautiful pass, Nikolai Ehlers, and Andrei Svechnikov buries it.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The one that got away is a tale as old as time, right? And you spend probably too much time as a fan thinking about the sliding doors moment. If only they traded for this guy when I wanted him to, we'd have 10 cups by now. If only that free agent chose to come play in Carolina rather than wherever, he'd be a Hall of Famer. The fit was perfect. Why'd they have to be so greedy? Why'd they have to go do this? Why'd they have to think that was better? And it's the one that got away, right? It's the hot tub time machine, Great White Buffalo. Well, we have an entire team of the one that got away for the Carolina Hurricanes, inspired by Artemi Panarin, who, as soon as the Rangers put out that from their GM open letter to their fans saying like, hey, just so you know, we're selling. Paraphrasing, but not really. There was a contingent of Canes fans that had already put Panarin in the lineup. He was scoring goals for the Canes. It was all there. Turns out Panarin, at least by the reports, never really even entertained Carolina. It was kind of Kings or bust. And the reason we know that is because, or at least I feel like I can say that confidently, is because Sportsnet put out an article today, Elliot Friedman, that says Panarin turned down the Seattle Kraken, who were willing to pay him 4 years and over what Leon Draisaitl makes per year, which would be 4 years and more than $14 million per year, to go to the Kings, who gave him 2 years and $11 million per year. So that guy wanted to go to the Kings, and money and whatever else was on the term and everything else was not on his radar, because then he would be a Seattle Kraken. For the Carolina, or the rumored connection with Carolina, here's Elliot Friedman, again, that very same Elliot Friedman, on Carolina's rolling it all.
There's no point in not saying anything about it now. There was a wild rumor last night that he was going to Carolina.
Wow.
And a lot of people heard it. And it got denied in a lot of places. But I think what happened was that there was a lot of leverage playing going on. And finally, I think Panarin got to a point where he was presented with all the different options, what was available out there in terms of places he wanted to go, and what the extensions were that were on the table. And I think there were a few teams that were still in it. And I think he ultimately picked LA, and he put his no move clause on. He said to the Rangers, we've decided on LA, and that's the only place we're going to go. And the Rangers had to make the best deal they could. And it's happened before. But I think the difference in this particular case is because the player and the agent had permission, they could really shop around and decide where they wanted to go. Like the extension, which you have on the screen right now, that's a lot less than what Panarin was asking for a week ago. But I guess ultimately, when he saw all the options that were available to him, this is the one he picked.
So Carolina was in the mix-ish, and apparently he just wanted to go to the Kings. Here's where it all starts. Panarin, the one that got away. For the last week, at least. All-time, almost Canes. Dennis, I think the way we'll reveal this is we'll go line by line, because we have first line, second line, third line, fourth line. We have 3 pairs of defensemen. We have goalies. We have head coach. We have guys off the bench. These are all players that at least a decent subsection of the Canes fans either wanted or had already started, photoshopping jerseys and getting them really entrenched. Top line. Starting with our captain of the all-time almost Canes.
Oh, yes, of course.
Sergei Fedorov, centering the line.
That's not a pipe dream, folks.
He signed an offer sheet with Carolina.
He did.
This was back in the late 90s. And yeah, but I went down some real rabbit holes on this one. There were some pretty good, what they call poison pills in the restricted free agent offer sheet that were in there. Things like if they made a conference championship game, $14 million in bonuses got accelerated and had to be paid up front right there. Basically, if they made the conference championship in the first year of the contract, it would have been $28 million in cash that year. And this was like 98. This was back when $28 million was $28 million.
Hey, it's still $28 million.
I know, but imagine back then, how much. That's insane. Now, obviously, Detroit matched, and because of that, the Canes lost at Detroit this year because they were retiring Fedorov's jersey. So, sliding doors. But he's the captain. He's centering the first line. We have Panarin on one side, probably recency bias. On the other side, Mitch Marner. I mean, the Canes fans were already Aho and Marner's kids, which were around the same age, were going to grow up together because they were going to sign long-term deals with Carolina.
I think people already had like a neighborhood in North Hills picked out for them and everything.
They were talking about babysitters. It was a whole thing. That's a good top line.
That's a heck of a top line.
That's a good top line. Second line, centering Elias Pettersson.
Okay.
Tomas Hertl and Timo Meier. That's a pretty good line as well.
I know a lot of Canes fans wanted Tomas Hertl this offseason. They also, remember a couple years ago, wanted them to trade for Timo Meier. Mm-hmm. He went to the New Jersey Devils instead.
And Elias Pettersson could be on here like 3 times.
Yeah.
Because he's been the trade target. It hasn't happened. He's been the trade target. It hasn't happened a whole bunch of times.
Heck, he could be here in 3 weeks.
That's true. Any of these, we could change this. I'm going to keep a running total of this. Every year we'll add new names. If a player plays for the Canes, they have to come off. Which leads us to our third line. Robert Thomas, who's definitely right now on the, hey, almost Kane, could be soon list. Matthew Tkachuk on the other side, or on one of the sides.
Mm-hmm.
Tage Thompson on the other. Kachuk, a little bit further in history. People probably don't want to admit it now, but they wanted him when they wanted him.
They were second in line behind Florida on the trade offer. It was Florida. It was like pretty even neck and neck trade offer between Florida and Carolina to get Matthew Kachuk a few years ago. And obviously Calgary took the Florida offer as opposed to the Carolina offer. But Matthew Kachuk was almost a Cane.
And again, sliding doors. Like, imagine how life changes if that happens. Tage Thompson, probably, Buffalo playing really well, or not really well, but well enough to be in the playoff mix.
I mean, they're second in the Atlantic right now.
True, actually,
more than well enough.
for Buffalo, really well. But that probably takes Tage Thompson off the possibilities. But he would this offseason, there were a lot, or even early this season, there was a lot of that guy should come here. This next line, the fourth line, is an insane fourth line. Ryan O'Reilly, center.
Yeah.
Another guy that could join. We'll see. But the two wings are two very, very – these were talked about for trade targets a ton. On one side, Vladimir Tarasenko.
Yeah.
A lot of just smoke with – turns out, people always say when there's smoke, there's fire. No fire on that one, but a ton of smoke. And Patrick Laine on the other side. Another guy that has been discussed a ton as a Cane. Those are active forwards on the almost all-time Canes list.
By the way, my apologies to Buffalo. They're fourth in the Atlantic now, but still in the top wildcard spot. My apologies to Buffalo.
The percentages, the analytics for playoffs, high.
But that's a heck of a 12.
Yeah,
those 12 forwards right there?
Wait till you hear the top defensive pair.
Yeah.
Erik Karlsson and Quinn Hughes.
Yeah.
Like, the cost of entry is Norris trophies, just to be mentioned.
Yep.
Erik Karlsson and Quinn Hughes, and by the way, heavily discussed a lot of times. Like, those are two very, not only they're very good players, but they're very highly talked about in Canes lore of they'd fit. Second pair, third pair drops off a bit. My theory here is the Canes actually do go get the defenseman, so the almost become actual Canes. Where forwards they kind of let them get away a lot. But Rasmus Andersson and Seth Jones, second pair.
Rasmus Andersson as early as the start of this season, by the way.
Yeah, as recently as very true. And then Sergei Gonchar and David Savard, third pair. They'll play third pair minutes. There you go.
That's fair.
We're going to score a lot of goals. This is basically how this team is situated. Goalies, this was short-lived, but it was talked about often.
Yeah.
High density of talks. Jake Ottinger. After he was pulled and embarrassed last year, it felt very much like a stare down between coach and player. And if coach won, then we would have gone really aggressive with the get Ottinger here now. But player won. He's still there, so short-lived. John Gibson, goalie 2, and 40-year-old Marc-Andre Fleury. He's our third goalie. He's our AHL goalie.
Yeah, he's our emergency. He's our e-bug.
He's our e-bug, exactly. Again, good. That's plenty fine. They'll with how many goals we're going to score, they'll do more than okay. Head coach, I know we had some talks. I actually solidified this one after you left.
Okay.
Daryl Sutter.
Oh.
He was fired by the Kings right before, obviously, Rod Brindamore was promoted and it went well. But if you look at all the, who should the Canes replace Peters with lists, it's Tippett, it's Rod, and there's a lot of Sutter. And he's got a couple of cups from his time with the Kings. So I threw him on the almost all-time Canes. The healthy extras up in the booth, Evander Kane, Alex Tuck, Matty Nyes, William Karlsson.
Yeah.
The suspended players, Michael McLeod, Carter Hart. There was a lot of buzz there. And I'm not mentioning Jason Robertson because it's going to happen. That one, I know a lot of people want him. I know I want him. It's going to happen. He's a future Cane. That's how I like to tell myself.
They're all future Canes. At one point.
They all were. Exactly.
They all were future Canes.
So, Robertson, I'm just not willing to say it's not happening.
It's the all-time future Canes list.
The all-time, at one time, future Canes list. That is a great roster. And if we forgot anybody, please let us know, because I'm sure we did. We did as much brainstorming as we could this morning. But if we forgot anyone, if there's someone that you're like, no, I really wanted this guy, and it almost happened, send it to us at Donnelly Sports on Twitter, or you can jump in our YouTube live stream, comments, 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. Check out the live stream, comment below the video. But it was fun for us, if nothing else, a bunch of guys naming dudes. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. will be moving on because really for the first time this offseason, we heard from Bryce Young. He was at the Super Bowl Radio Row, talked with Pat McAfee. We have some audio for you from the Panthers quarterback next.
Adam Golden studio with my man Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. All right, let's paint the scenario here. I need windows, but man, I don't have 3 hours to go through the process of deciding what I need, when I need it. Can you help at the Aluminum Company?
Absolutely. So, first of all, when we come out to your house to look at your windows, typical window appointment may last 45 minutes, an hour. We're certainly not going to make a 4 or 5 hour commitment to talk about windows. We're there to help.
Serve dinner last time.
Right. Listen, my wife always says, I talk to my wife all the time when we have salespeople, whatever we're doing. And my wife, I tell her all the time, I can't stand salespeople. And she laughs. She's like, you are a salesperson. I'm like, well, the difference is I'm just having a conversation trying to help people get what they want. I'm not there to pressure you. You're just there to help you get in and out. And it's a pretty quick appointment. It's pretty efficient. So we're there to help you and make it quick.
I can vouch for that. The Aluminum Company of North Carolina, online at aluminumcompany.com.
It's bow time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $6.99.
Leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $6.99.
So crispy.
So crispy.
And juicy.
And juicy.
So much flavor.
So much.
Stop it. What are you doing?
What, you expect me to get this delicious deal and not say anything?
You're unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
With a boldly seasoned leg and thigh, choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea, it's a deal so good it's worth repeating. So eat and repeat while it lasts. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Dine in, drive through, or tap your favorite delivery app and have Bojangles come to you. Satisfy your craving for flavor right now with Bojangles 2-piece dinner. 2 pieces of Bojangles dark meat chicken, your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and iced tea for just $6.99. That's right, just $6.99 for limited time at participating Bojangles. What are you waiting for? When you're hungry, it's always bow time.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Mostly cloudy, chilly and breezy this afternoon. 40 degrees for the afternoon high, but feeling more like 30s with the wind chill. Briefly clearing tonight and dropping to 22, so it's going to be cold. We cloud up briefly tomorrow with a front that'll bring us a small chance of a shower. Tomorrow's high 48.
Weather update brought to you by Blue Shark Vodka, the world's smoothest vodka. Pour Blue Shark Vodka at all your events to lift everyone's spirits. Blue Shark Vodka, the shark that doesn't bite. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell today, down 593 points to 48,908.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. At the end of this segment, we will be grabbing another contestant for our big game boxes. So if you want to win a signed football from Derek Brown, you're going to want to be listening. Also right now, you can visit 999thefan.com and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see the Black Crowes with Whiskey Myers in Southall at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on June 7th. That's at 999thefan.com as well as the 999 The Fan app. Now let's get into football at 4. The Super Bowl is cool for a bunch of reasons. One of the probably lesser talked about is we often hear from players, right? They go to the Radio Row, they bounce up and down, do some interviews, and you know, there's no media obligations in the offseason. If you're a private person and you just want to go grind and you're not putting your workouts on Instagram, we don't have to hear from you from your team's exit interviews until you're back in the facility getting ready for next year. So when you do have somebody like Bryce Young, they're promoting some brands and doing some business and doing some interviews, we latch on to the opportunity to get some insight into the Panthers. Bryce Young was in attendance, and while he wasn't necessarily just walking up and down Radio Row going, who wants a question? He did talk with Pat McAfee, and because of that, we got some audio. Bryce Young talking with Pat McAfee on the Panthers not being content with this season, which did end in the playoffs.
Obviously, it didn't go the way we wanted to, and I was excited how everyone played. I loved how everyone stepped up, and what I really loved beyond that is no one was like happy, like it wasn't like, I know from the outside looking in the perception, for us it wasn't like a consolation prize. It wasn't like, oh, we made it further than people thought. It was, we were all upset in that locker room. Like everyone looked and we're all, I wish I would have done this better. Everyone's wishing they did things better, and no one's satisfied. Again, we still have the work to do. It doesn't entitle us to anything, but like it's a group of guys that are felt it and felt like we were close, and we're upset, and there's no complacency, no pats on the back, so we're just excited to keep going.
I'm not saying he's a liar, okay? Because he's not. And you do change your goals as you go along. Like once you make the postseason, then yeah, you're going to be furious as a competitor if you come up short, especially if it's in a game where you felt like you had a bunch of opportunities to go win it, like they did against the Rams. I thought perhaps with some with some distance, he might acknowledge like, yeah, this season was a rousing success. We're not satisfied. We're not finished. We're not complete. But, we've increased our win total by 3 games each of the last 2 seasons. We made the playoffs probably a little bit ahead of schedule than what anybody was giving us credit for. And we don't set those types of goals, but we were happy to do it. But you're never going to get that from Bryce. And I'm not saying he should have said that. I'm not writing a script for him. He can say whatever he wants. I still don't know if we've gotten something like truly authentic thoughts from Bryce. He is so good at, and it's a skill, saying exactly what a quarterback should say. Right? He is so good at saying the thing that a coach or a media consultant would tell him to say. It's unbelievable. And I've made this reference about Bryce before. I thought perhaps we'd get some more because it's the offseason for him, right? The Super Bowl's coming up, but they haven't played for a while, right? And maybe a little bit more casual. But it's just not there. And I don't know if it ever will be. And I'm not saying he should or shouldn't. I'm saying I wish we had. Do you remember the Key and Peele sketch where it was when Barack Obama was president and they gave him the anger translator?
Oh yeah, Luther,
the anger trans. I want that for Bryce, to where he says like the politician thing, he says the quarterback thing, he says the right thing, and then you could have somebody come up and say, here are his inner thoughts, right? So right there, like, oh, we're not content, we're not satisfied, we want more, we want to keep going, we were upset in that locker room, and then the anger translator could be like, y'all said we were going to be picking in the top 5. We made the playoffs and we took the rank. Who wants to say something now? Like that's what. Yeah, I need an anger translator for on air. That's what I wish happened, and it's just not going to happen. So take it with a grain of salt, but we have more audio from Bryce. Here he is talking about his relationship with Dave Canales, the head coach, since his benching, which obviously didn't happen this year, but not that long ago either, kind of at the beginning of last year.
It's not easy to do. Like it's difficult. It was tough in the moment, but for me, I really just I really did want to challenge myself to do that. And for us over these last couple of years, it's been really cool just to see the growth in our relationship. I think he's a play caller, so the play caller QB relationship is always huge. And now getting more time in the offense and the experience in his, not just his system, but his philosophy. Like, I want to be extension of the coach out there. So knowing what he expects, knowing certain play calls, it's not just 1, 2, 3, 4, the read, but really the intent of why he's calling it on this down and distance, why he's doing, what he wants from this, what he expects from me as a leader, how he expects me to, to run things on the side, like all that stuff. So I think just being able to have more time doing that, being able to communicate with all that stuff, and really the consistency he has with me, with the entire team, it sets that example for all of us.
4 horsemen of the franchise: alignment, quarterback, head coach, GM, owner, they need to be on the same page. And obviously, right, when benchings are happening, you're not exactly on the same page. It'd be weird if you were, if they called you in to bench you and you went, yep, I'd do it too. Like, obviously you're going to be in disagreement there. And I think I was early to it, but a lot of people have come around to it. It's impossible without a good amount of time for that iciness or that slight distrust to just go away. Right? Oh, you benched me. I'm not going to forget about that in a month. You know what I mean? We have to go through some good times and prove that, or some bad times and prove that you have my back before we truly make that water under the bridge, if it ever becomes water under the bridge. And I think he obviously said the right thing there, but meaning like the politically right thing there. But yeah, I think with time and success and struggles and trials and tribulations, eventually that won't be as prominent. But I don't see how it isn't for at least this past year that they just finished up. Also, Dennis, just in the interest of dissecting every answer, did he give us some insight into how they operate pure progression versus coverage reads by saying it's not just 1, 2, 3, 4, make the reads?
It was about the why. It's like, hey, this is the reason why we're doing this. So understanding as opposed to just go do the thing I told you to do.
Yep. It's just, you know, if you are in more of a coverage read system, you probably would go like, it's not just, hey, if it's one high, go left. It's he said 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, dissecting, probably over dissecting. Something to pay attention to because everyone in the NFL right now is on the what's better, coverage reads or pure progression. Maybe we got a little insight there. One more piece of audio we'll play for you here. Bryce Young talked about young quarterbacks, of which he was and was really since he got here, but is still, and what they have to learn and what are the challenges of taking over as a starting quarterback in the NFL. Here's what he said.
For me, we were all signals, and we were. I think the command and the communication is such a big deal. And the efficiency of the operation was another thing that, like, coming in was like, at first I'm like, I want to memorize the plays, don't get this long play call wrong. Like, I'm studying the playbook and, I'm going in thinking about it, getting it out, trying to get emotion in. And you look up and there's 6 seconds left. And, even sometimes when you can go, all right, we got to, we're snapping it fast, whatever it may be. Now, you got a good edge rusher that looks and sees the clock like, okay, now I know I got to jump. Now, defenses know when you're going to snap. They can disguise better, all that stuff. So I think the pace pre-snap was one of the biggest things. How quick can we get up? How quick can we diagnose? Can we get through these motions, these shifts? How can I use cadence to help the O-line with, pointing out where you need to go, help the back see it, undress it, give a sight to the receiver, whatever it may be. I think that was one of the biggest things.
Do you know what's ironic about that? I think college, it's one of the few things that college football is doing to more prepare their quarterbacks for the pros when I think they're actually doing a lot of stuff in different ways now than they used to that makes their quarterbacks less prepared for the pros. They did recently put the headsets in the quarterbacks' helmets, which makes it so there's less of that transition. Bryce said, we're all signals. We were all signals in college, and coming up here there's a lot more communication, and they say more, and there's words, and there's all that. I think guys will be better at handling all of that and repeating calls and everything else because they have had it in the headset in college.
I think Bryce was he was the last class of quarterback that didn't have a headset, I think.
Yep. I'm almost certain that's the case.
So I want to say it was Drake May's last season at UNC was the first year they had, if I remember correctly.
Which he would have been, that timeline would add up if we're right. But either way, even if he had it for the last year, one year at Alabama where they're still signaling in a lot is different, right? Because then the headset could be your offensive coordinator just giving you all the tips, right? Because they're signaling in the play to everybody else. He could just be in there going like, all right, here's what we're going to do. Here's what you need to look for. Last play, the safeties did this. Good luck. But in the NFL, you got to communicate things. There's a lot more huddling. There's a lot of different stuff there. So he'll continue to get better at all of that. And one of the greatest mic'd ups of all time is John Gruden talking with Chris Sims when Chris Sims was a rookie, and he gave him one of those 13-word plays, and you could just tell Chris Sims his head was spinning and he couldn't get through more than like 5 words. and Gruden was just giving him the business. It's a tale as old as time, right? The communication from coach to quarterback to offense in the NFL for certain play callers and certain offenses is tough, and you better get it right or else coaches will be furious. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Again, all of that audio from the Pat McAfee show. Bryce Young's stopping by. Before we move on, as promised, it's time to grab one additional contestant for big game boxes with The Drive. Caller number 10 right now, 919-860-5326, gets 5 randomly assigned boxes, squares, on the grid for big game boxes. Which, by the way, the boxes as well as the numbers will be determined Friday at 6 p.m. and then put out on our social media. So if you're one of the callers who has been caller number 10, you can follow us on social media and see which numbers you're rooting for Friday at 6. The person with the box that is corresponding to the correct numbers based on the end-of-game score for the big game on Sunday will win a signed football from the hands of Pro Bowl defensive tackle Derek Brown. So if you want to win the Derek Brown signed football, call in now, be caller number 10, and start getting lucky. The number is 919-860-5326. 919-860-5326. Caller number 10. There you go. Lines are open. We will come back with Cons and Cons, ACC Basketball Edition, and first goal scorer predictions. Stick around. That's all coming up next.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or price stopped, opt out.
Mom, can we get snacks?
Unless chips are on sale for $3.99, we're in a snack drought, buddy.
Hey, remember Current? They can get us up to $750 before payday once we qualify.
Wait, $750 of our money now?
Yep, and they're even offering an extra $75 sign-up bonus right now. Set up an eligible payroll deposit and see if we qualify for an advance. No hassle, no credit checks.
Gummy worms, here we come.
Current has your back with up to $750 in paycheck advances once you qualify. And right now, get an extra $75 bonus when you set up an eligible payroll deposit. Join the millions who count on Current when it matters most. Text credit to 323232 now. That's credit to 323232. CREDIT to 323232.
Paycheck advance is offered by FineCo Advance LLC, a financial technology company, not an FDIC-insured bank. Eligibility and available amounts may vary and are subject to change at any time. For full terms and conditions, visit current.com/radio or call 1-888-851-3177 for more information.
Move your sports day forward.
The goal for the Carolina Hurricanes in the remaining games before the Olympic break, simple. Replenish those reverse Uno cards. The tilting the ice and playing catch-up from allowing early goals or silly penalties needs to stop in the third period. Put the hammer down early. And please, 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 don't let Stanky or Jarvie go a game without a single shot.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
You pull up at a McDonald's drive-thru at the crack of dawn to get your $3 crispy chicken biscuit. You've been craving it all night. It was a very long night, but your taste buds pulled through. Those are no ordinary taste buds, and you are no ordinary human. You are a champion, and you deserve a $3 crispy chicken biscuit. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
It's Heart Health Month. I'm Tim Donnelly here with Dr. Parikh from WakeMed Heart and Vascular. Doctor, can you take us through what exactly heart failure is and how common it is?
I think of myself more as a heart function doctor rather than a heart failure doctor. But heart failure, it can sound scary. It doesn't mean your heart is about to stop. It's a pumping problem. And so a heart can either be stiff and not fill properly, or it can be weaker and not pump properly. And really your body is not getting as much blood as it needs from the heart. It is somewhat common. So after age 40, 1 in 5 Americans will have heart failure at some point in their life. There's over 6 million people living with it in this country today. You really want to talk to your doctor about whether you're at risk for heart failure and if you should start screening for it, and really try to follow a heart-healthy lifestyle so you can prevent it from happening in the first place.
If you have any questions, you want to learn more about heart health, go to wakemed.org.
Big tax changes this year could mean a bigger refund, and Jackson Hewitt knows how to get you your biggest. You'll get $100 just to try us. That won't make you filthy rich, but definitely gas plus groceries rich. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back, which would make you low-key loaded. Or at least wealthy adjacent? Go Go with our trusted pros and get $100 to switch. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Hey guys, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Bailey's Fine Jewelry makes it easy for you to find the perfect gift for the one you love. Bailey's has something for everyone and every budget. They have a huge selection of jewelry and gifts, highly sought after pieces from David Yurman, Ippolita, Lagos, and Bailey's collections, as well as an impressive array of diamond jewelry. Visit Bailey's in Raleigh, Cary, Rocky Mount, Greenville, and Charlotte, or at baileybox.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The NBA trade deadline has just passed. There's a lot of movement. We're going to let things settle before we get too crazy into it. But I can pass along a few things. One, the Hornets have waived guard Mike Conley, who they traded for yesterday in the deal that also brought Kobe White to Charlotte. Tyus Jones, the point guard for Duke, was a Hornet for about 6 hours, something like that.
Oh, yeah?
He was traded from the Magic to the Hornets, then, ready for this bit of surprise, from the Hornets to the Dallas Mavericks, which does mean the Mavericks could trot out a starting five, or at least a lineup of five, of all Duke players who none of them shared their time at Duke at all.
Yeah, if they're all healthy and actually playing, yeah.
Because they have Cooper Flagg, Kyrie Irving, Derek Lively, Tyus Jones, and they traded for another one yesterday. Oh, Marvin Bagley.
Yeah,
in
Marvin Bagley the third.
Anthony Davis trade. So the Duke Mavericks continue to build there. And the Hornets have been super active with a bunch of small moves going on. It seems like teams are very desperate to get underneath certain aprons and certain luxury tax thresholds. And the Hornets, are good, but they're also young and on a lot of cost-controlled contracts. So they're just like, yeah, we'll take some of that cash. Give us a pick. Yeah, we'll take some of that cash. We'll take some of that cap hit. Just go ahead and give us something to do it. And it's been working out well for them. We'll get to that as the show goes on a little bit more, and we get some confirmations that nothing else is going on the deadline. With that being said, we drop down a level in basketball from the NBA to college, specifically the ACC, for some cons and cons.
But to play great defense, you need one thing above all else.
That starts with a W.
Confidence.
Confidence. What are you most confident in? What are you most concerned about? For each of the three teams that play basketball in the ACC, from the triangle. Cons and cons. What are you most confident, most concerned about? If you have some answers or you like or don't like the answers we give, you can always jump in our YouTube live stream comments, 99.9 The Fan. On YouTube, check out the live stream. Comments right below. Go nuts. Dennis, as always, you'll pick the order. What team are we rolling with first?
Well, we talked Duke UNC earlier, so let's talk NC State. We haven't talked any NC State basketball yet today.
We will talk NC State right now. As always, I have good news and bad news. Which do you want first? You always take the bad news, so you start with concerns. Your concern for NC State. Dennis, take the first possession.
My concern when it comes to NC State basketball, because we've seen them light it up from three. What happens when the three-point scoring dries up in a game? What's your secondary option? That's my concern for them right now. It's because they light it up from three. They're one of the best, if not the best, shooting team from three in the ACC.
They are the best ACC three-point shooting team.
That doesn't always show up. At least not maybe at the percentage of what you're used to. What's your secondary scoring option?
So that's my exact concern. I literally wrote in my notes, live by the three, die by the three. The concern would be die by the three. By the way, my confidence is going to be live by the three because of what we just said. They're the best three-point shooting team in the ACC. So I'm going to mix my two, right? I'll do my concern straight into my confidence because it's that simple. They are an unbelievable three-point shooting team. They also work for those shots, right? Will Wade, one of the things I vividly remember, first impression of Will Wade once kind of the season got started, right? We're past the point where his intro pressers are all about raising expectations and making sure everybody knows it's not a rebuild. Once the basketball started, one of the things I remember right out the gate stands out to me is they had analytics on Paul McNeil's. Their only returner from last year as far as their rotation, and his shots in practice. And they had his 3-point percentage in drills, in scrimmages, in warm-ups, in shooting after. Like, they kept it all statistically, like analytically. And obviously that drives what this program is under Will Wade, right? It drives what the program values. And guess what analytics have always valued? Threes and layups, right? Threes and layups. And you see that in how they play. So it's not an accident that they depend on the three, right? It's what the analytics would say is kind of how I view all of this. But here is the confidence in it. It's almost everybody, right? They have a bunch of guys shooting over 40% from three, right? So if the cliche is live by the three, die by the three, I guess you would have less likely of a chance to die by the three if on any one person's given off day, you have a bunch of other really good three-point shooters you could go to. Kadir Copeland doesn't shoot enough threes in my book. He's shooting almost 48% from three. Paul McNeil, high volume, 43% shooter. Darian Williams, high volume, 43% shooter. These are just three-point percentages. Trey Holloman, who's been hurt and minutes restrictions and everything else, still 41 and change three-point shooter. Jordan Snell, who obviously doesn't play a lot, he's a senior walk-on, 40% from three. I guess that the combatant against a shooting slump would be if Williams slumps, Copeland shoot more. If McNeil slumps, Holloman shoot more. Like you can kind of pivot there. So my concern is what happens if they go cold from three. My confidence is the chances of all of them going cold from three are less than some teams, which depend on maybe two shooters to kind of be their spacing.
Or one.
Yeah, or yep. We'll get to that one later on.
Yep.
So there's an abundance of shooters. Even someone like Matt Abel, who's not shooting a great percentage, it's kind of confident when he steps into it. So maybe he could alleviate some of that. So that's my official concern and confidence for NC State.
My confidence for State is it ties into what you were talking about just now, is the fact that it's Quadir Copeland's ability to get into the lane and forcing defenses to collapse, which is what's creating the open looks. Early in the season, in some games where Carolina was struggling shooting from three, especially against good teams, Kansas, Virginia, they weren't getting paint touches. Quadir Copeland, as the point guard, he has shown the ability to consistently threaten a defense by getting inside the defense and in the lane, and his ability to distribute the ball from there. That, just go back to the Wake Forest game, for example, it was corner three after corner three in that game. And obviously kudos to the guys for making those shots, but it's so much easier to catch and shoot in rhythm as opposed to just dribble the ball around the perimeter and chuck up shots.
This is not an exaggeration. I host the Pack Therapy podcast during basketball season, co-hosted with Max Gorin. We talked about State's recent run and their three-point shooting on this week's episode, which should be out everywhere that it is available, or should be available everywhere that podcasts are available. I couldn't help myself. First 12 minutes are all about how Copeland as a passer impacts their shooting. I think we planned to maybe do one quick, question on it. It became 12 minutes and could have been 18 because it just got really exciting to talk about how he as a passer is creating so many opportunities for his guys. So check that out. That's my little tease there. What team do we go to next, Dennis?
Let's go to Carolina.
Carolina. What is your concern for Carolina?
My concern when it comes to Carolina is, are they too front court heavy? It's with their starting lineup. Are they too front court heavy? Because you look at their front court with Jaden Young, Seth Trimble, the backcourt with Derek Dixon, those guys as a three-guard set. You're heavily relying on Caleb Wilson, Henry Vasar, obviously at work. But in that starting lineup group, who is the perimeter threat? Young doesn't play enough minutes even as a starter. Derek Dixon's still a freshman. He's more of, again, a true point guard, or as close to it as you're going to see in college basketball. And Tremble just doesn't shoot efficiently enough as a 3. So I don't know who the outside threat is on that starting lineup, though. So that's my concern when it comes to just UNC, when it comes to their starting lineup, when you're going to, especially this coming Saturday when you're playing against Duke, that outside threat needs to be there. Otherwise, Duke is going to pack it in the paint to make life hell for Vasar and Wilson. Now, granted, Henry Vasar can step outside and shoot. We have seen it before. He might actually be, of their starting 5, their best three-point shooter, which is kind of odd.
Yeah, I don't know if it's odd because he is like a good shooter.
Yeah.
It's just odd based on like archetype of what he is versus some of the other players on in the starting 5.
Yep.
Mine's similar, but I'm wording it in a different way to add Seth Trimble. I'm concerned about like I call it a keystone species, right? I remember 8th grade science. Shout out to Mr. White. Learned about habitats, and we learned about a keystone species, which is like if you remove this one seemingly insignificant animal from a habitat or plant from a habitat, the whole thing collapses, right? We learned about a lot, or it's talked about a lot currently with, or at least it was, with honeybees, where it's like, honeybees, they're a nuisance. Who cares? But as their populations dwindle, it's like, you don't understand. We lose everything if we lose the honeybees. I think Vasar, Wilson, and Trimble are all kind of keystone species where if you remove one of them because of foul trouble, because they're having an off night, because of an injury, because of whatever reason that would make a player kind of unavailable to produce, I think the whole thing might collapse upon itself. Like the things they do, because they're very good, but they don't have a ton of depth at the things they do. I think it's kind of like an overdependence on a few guys where you want to be able to go, all right, we can survive for a long time if this guy's not there. But, when Seth Trimble was out, you noticed, right? Caleb Wilson, Henry Vasar, it's surprising when they're unavailable and they play very well. So keystone species, my concern. What's your confidence?
My confidence is actually the second unit for UNC.
Interesting.
And to me, making Derek Dixon the starting point guard has really changed the dynamic of UNC's offense and how they flow. Because I think it also, when you've taken Luka Bogovac off that starting unit, it allows Luka Bogovac, when he comes off the bench, to be more of a focal point with that second group. He can actually have the ball in his hands more often. He can initiate a little bit more often. And you have seen him actually play more consistent and more close towards his top level of play. And I think that's actually allowed him to play better as a result. And Derek Dixon is a better distributor of the ball than Kyan Evans is. And so to me, it's actually made the second unit better for Carolina, and it's actually made one of your top players, Luka Bogovac, an even better player as well.
My confidence, and I just want to make sure we're still driving this bandwagon, it's Caleb Wilson.
That's fair.
I think because Abe Boozer's been so statistically dominant this year, but DeBonce has a 43-point game. Darren Peterson's putting up some big games. We talk about other freshmen across the country. He's fallen out of some conversations of the top freshmen again, and I think that's foolish. I think that's ridiculous, to be honest. So I'm almost running back the rant I had before the year when he wasn't included in those conversations. He's really gosh darn good. I think of the guys I just mentioned, he might have the most room between him and his ceiling. I think he can get the most better. Some of the other guys pretty darn polished. I'm really confident in him. He makes 3 plays a game that I don't know if anyone else in the country makes. So Caleb Wilson is my confidence. We do have first goal scorer predictions coming up. We're going to be a few minutes late to it.
Stay locked in, folks.
Yeah, stay locked in. There you go. Let's get to Duke.
Yep.
What's your concern?
3-point shooting.
Yep. Obvious Achilles heel.
Easy, plain, simple. They don't have consistent outside shooting. They don't have anyone that's over 38.5% of their regulars. Cooper Flagg was 5th on the team on Duke last year at 38.5% 3-point shooting. Duke doesn't have a single guy of their regulars that has hit that mark this year.
Yeah, I mean, 3-point shooting, the one that concerns me is something like Isaiah Evans, 33.5. He has to shoot. He has to, right? For the offense to work, he has to. And you're not asking for 46%, right? 39.5 or better, right? Something that rounds up to 40. And I think this team becomes another level. But 33.5 probably isn't going to do it for somebody who's that good of a shooter, right? That's the weird part. We know he's a good shooter. And it feels like he's making a higher percentage than that, but he's just not. So if a team can force them into three-point shooting, perhaps that ends up being one of the Achilles heels that they have to figure out a way to deal with. Let's get to confidence. What are you confident in?
They dominate the paint as a whole on both ends of the floor. Physicality has been their greatest strength this season. The fact that they do
strength has been their strength?
Yeah, well, imagine that. But their ability to defend the paint, they don't let teams really get into the lane very much as a whole. I think if Carolina is able to get paint touches consistently on Duke, I think that could spell trouble for Duke, but they just generally don't allow teams to get in the paint.
Mine is team defense.
Mm-hmm.
For a team that has a lot of young guys and a lot of new guys, they communicate exceptionally well, and it's you don't get gimmies. Here's how I'll describe it. I remember when I was playing in college, football, quarterback, different, but still playing at the University of Delaware. I'd be watching film of other teams, and there'd be like a blown coverage, and the guy just run down the middle of the field, and I'd be going, why do we never get those, right? Why do I never get the hey, I could punt this down there and get a touchdown pass, right? Just selfish, want my stats. Watching Duke, they almost never give that to the opponent, right? They never give the two guys guarding the same guy, no rotation. They never give the I said switch, you didn't hear me. They never give like this the oops, you get an easy layup. It's always earned. Everything they do, if you're going to score against them, it's going to be earned. And that's just tiring, right? You have to do that for a full game. It's just tiring. In college, you kind of bank on, 10, 12 points a game where you're just kind of, if we run our offense, we're going to get a backdoor cut and someone's going to be lazy and not helping. And Duke just doesn't give you any of them. They don't blow coverages. So shout out to Duke. That's my confidence. Now, again, we're a couple minutes late, but let's open up the phone lines for a little first goal scorer prediction. There's my storm. Canes tonight at the Rangers. First goal scorer prediction. We'll do our best to get somebody on the air here. 919-860.
Oh, real quick, actually, before we do that here.
I am confused.
Speaking of the Carolina Hurricanes.
All right, we might not open up the phone lines here. Sorry, everybody.
We can still open up the phone lines for first goal scorer prediction. But according to Elliot Friedman, 3 minutes ago, Seth Jarvis will replace Braden Point on Team Canada.
Hey!
Let's go. Congratulations, Seth Jarvis.
Seth Jarvis.
So Seth Jarvis will replace Braden Point on Team Canada. That's according to Elliot Friedman as of 4 minutes ago. And I will now answer phones.
919-860-5326. Maybe that changes some of your first goal scorer predictions. We'll definitely talk about that more as the show goes on. 919-860-5326. Call in now with who you think will score the first goal for the Carolina Hurricanes tonight at the Rangers and in what period you think they will score it. And now we'll mix in, as the Olympics go on, first goal scorer predictions for Olympic games. Seth Jarvis is there. Aho is there. Slavin is there. Ehlers is there. Freddie Anderson is there, playing for will be there, I should say, representing their home countries. So perhaps we'll get a Kane first goal scorer prediction in the Olympics as well. For right now, though, we have Brian in Holly Springs already lined up. Brian, welcome to the show. Who scores the first goal for the Canes tonight against the Rangers, and in what period?
I have to go with the sure thing. Jarvis in the first period with a straight up.
Oh, I heard Jarvis in the first, and then you broke up there. What was the detail you were adding?
With a pass from Aho.
All right, Aho with the assist. That first line is buzzing. Appreciate it, Brian. You are locked in with Jarvis in the first, Aho assist.
Makes sense. He's a Canadian Olympian now.
I don't know. I think last game, the telephone celebration, I think was him maybe saying like, "Why aren't you calling me?" And he scored 2.
That's true.
Maybe he's a little soft in this one. He's a little happy. He's just giddy, skating around. Maybe less angry, less selfish. We go to Dylan in Durham up next. Dylan in Durham, who scores the first goal and in what period?
What's up, TV? Appreciate taking the call, man. We're going to go with Sly in the second.
All right. Why the second? Why are they starting slow against, I think it's, who is it, Quick in net for the Rangers tonight?
Yeah, I think the boys are going to go out for a little happy hour to celebrate Jarvis before the game, and we're going to start slow.
All right. I mean, I don't know if that's true. Maybe they did last night, though, and it's eating them a little bit. Appreciate it, Dylan, and thank you for listening. Go ahead and lock in Ehlers in the second. And finally, Taylor and Holly Springs round us out with some first goal scorer predictions. Who scores the first goal for the Canes and in what period?
I think Aho's on a comeback here. He's going to be scoring some more goals, so I'm going to go Aho in the first.
Aho in the first keeps the goal streak alive at 4 going into the break. Taylor, thank you very much for the call, and good luck to you. I will quickly now run through the 99.9 The Fan personality picks that we've already locked in. Paul Ihander, he's determined. Jackson Blake in the first. It's been a prediction for quite a long time.
Manifest that.
The first time he doesn't, Jackson Blake's going to have a natural hat trick in the first. The first time he doesn't pick Blake. Max Gorin, the producer of Next Up with Paul Ihander. Jarvis in the first. He says a top corner snipe.
Okay.
And that was before he knew he was on Team Canada. Adam Gold, host of the Adam Gold Show, obviously. Kotkaniemi in the first. Second straight night he thinks KK gets in the meaning he predicted last game, not that it happened. But KK in the first. Victoria went Nikolai Ehlers in the first, not in the first 10 minutes, though, so back half of the first period. Dennis, you're up next. You're next on the call. Who scores the first goal?
This is actually difficult because part of me wanted to actually go with Keandre Miller playing back at Madison Square Garden against his former team. I thought about that, but it's also the same time, like Seth Jarvis is probably going to be giddy and all that, thinking about the Olympics. Give me Andrei Svechnikov because he's also been on a heater as well. Give me Svechnikov in the first period on an assist from both Aho and Jarvis.
All right, so I'm going to make my pick, and then I'm going to talk some reactions here. I'm going Keandre Miller in the first. It's a revenge game.
That's fair. Yeah.
I'm not like it's the Cosmos on this one. I don't even know if it'll be a great look. He's just going to slap it up, chop it up towards the net, and it's going to find its way in so he can brag to his old buddies. Here's what I want to say, and this is us being vulnerable here, and nobody else has agreed to this, but I'm going to have us be vulnerable. It's been a long time since one of us got one right.
It has been.
Now, I don't think that's an indictment on us not knowing what we should know or whatever. I think it shows what the Canes bring to the table, which is a wide variety of goal-scoring possibilities. And also our willingness to not just pick Aho and Jarvis in the first every single time because we're not boring and chalky like that. But like the fact that we pick good goal scorers, you know what I mean? Like we pick Jarvis quite often. We picked Aho quite often. We pick Ehlers. We pick Svech quite often. And we haven't hit one in a while. And the reason why I bring it up is just I think that's part of like what it's like to prepare for the Canes, right? You circle guys on the scouting report because they're the scorers, they're the goal scorers. They might be 30, 40 goal scorers, right? If things keep going for Svech and Jarvis and these guys, they're 20 goal scorers every single year. And then you go out there and you might catch a Carrier goal, and it's not the most ridiculous thing in the world. You might catch a blue line goal, and it's not the craziest thing in the world. Nikishin can score, obviously. So it's a real challenge to pick who's gonna score on any given night for the Canes, especially when you try to narrow it down to like the order of the scoring. If you could just pick this guy anytime goal scorer, we do, I think, a lot better. But picking the first is not easy because of the way this roster is situated. First goal scores, locked in. You can send them to us online, 99.9 The Fan, YouTube, jump in the live stream comments, and let us know who you think it'll be.
By the way, the news, once again, if you just missed it, Seth Jarvis officially replacing Braden Point on Team Canada. He's off to Milan, folks. He's off to the Olympics for Team Canada. Now, when you're playing the United States, I will not be rooting for you, obviously. But congrats to Seth Jarvis. That's awesome for him.
Yeah, exactly. I'm rooting for him to score 4 goals and Canada to lose 5-4 in every game. That's what I'm rooting for.
I mean, he can win silver. That's fine.
Nah,
it's fine. We'll let our neighbors to the north win silver. That's okay when they lose to the United States.
The Danes have 2 Canes.
That's fine.
So they can get silver.
Hey, that'd actually be pretty remarkable.
Freddie Anderson standing on his head and us going, "Where's this been?"
Yeah. Oh, okay. We see now. But it's awesome for Seth Jarvis because here's the thing about the Olympics I don't think a lot of people understand, or maybe don't realize, is that you actually dress 20 skaters. Mm-hmm. It's not traditional just 12 forwards, 6 defensemen, 2 goalies. You dress 20 skaters. So it's 13 forwards, 7 defensemen is normally what you're going to skate. So even if he's that 13th forward, he can play in any situation. You need him just to go kill penalties, he could do that. You want him on the power play, he could do that. There's so much that he can offer. He just turned 24.
And do you know what's even better?
What's that?
His contract is awesome.
Yeah, there's that too.
Sometimes when you send a guy to an Olympics or a Four Nations or something like that, you're a little worried because they could come back like an international superstar, and all of a sudden price tags are going up and everything's changed and everything about their career levels up. In this case, you're like, no, I hope all that happens because we have him for $7 million and change or whatever it is for the next X amount of years. So. Awesome for Jarvis. Super happy for him. You can tell in his interactions, the documentary on Amazon, his interaction with it matters to him. He cares about it. He still has Sidney Crosby's poster up on his wall. He's going to be sharing a locker room with him yet again. So super happy for Jarvis. Happy for him. Confused on what took Canada so long to give him the call to make him part of the selections. And pretty soon it's going to be USA. You're either for us or against us, so I'll be rooting against you, but I'm happy for you to be on that side. With that being said, Dennis Cox has something he'd like to tell you.
I do. Dennis Cox here real quick from my good friends over at Law Tigers. Speaking of Carolina Hurricanes, the Carolina Hurricanes and the Law Tigers are once again teaming up to give one lucky Caniac a custom Canes Ducati motorcycle courtesy of Art Moto Garage and Shiny Side Paint. All you got to do to enter to win, folks, caniacsbike.com. Visit caniacsbike.com. That's where you go enter for your chance to win. I actually went to Art Moto Garage, located right here in Raleigh. Shiny Side Paint, also located right here in Raleigh. And when I actually went and looked at the bike myself in person today, that thing is freaking gorgeous. Let me tell you, it's an absolutely beautiful bike. I wish I could actually enter to win this thing because as soon as I saw it in person in my own eyes, I went, oh, I want that. caniacsbike.com. That's where you enter for your chance to win. If you're around Raleigh, you actually want to see the bike yourself, visit Art Moto Garage. You can just go take a look at it. It's pretty stunning. Go to caniacsbike.com, enter for your chance to win. The bike will be given away live on April 4th at the game and includes tickets in a catered suite. That in and of itself is pretty awesome as well. Go to caniacsbike.com, enter for your chance to win. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, will come back with a feedback frenzy. Up next.
It's Super Bowl week on 99.9 The Fan.
Hot dog, man!
Listen all week long as we get you ready for Sunday's big game between New England and Seattle.
May's going to run to the outside of the sideline. He's got the first down. Drake May picks up the first down, and that may be the play that sends the Patriots back to the Super Bowl.
Inside interviews and our picks to win the Lombardi Trophy.
It's finish time.
The big game broadcast on 99.9 The Fan is presented by Wake Med.
Soundstation and Security, your automotive and audio experts. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels and tires, and so much more. Plus, did you know Soundstation and Security offers full service for your vehicle? Alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. And with a variety of financing options, Soundstation and Security can help you get what you need today. 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Soundstation and Security. Visit myhotsound.com.
Experience the heat with a hot spring hot tub or Tilo sauna from Atlantic Spas and Billiards. Too much inventory means big savings and a big selection from the largest hot tub and sauna store in the Triangle. Our newly remodeled showroom at 8721 Glenwood Avenue celebrates our 39th year with indoor and outdoor saunas, hot tubs, and outdoor gaming. Our billiard side is stocked full of pool tables, foosball, darts, table tennis, and more. Come in now for the largest savings and availability at Atlantic Spas and Billiards, 8721 Glenwood Avenue, Raleigh.
Looking for the ultimate big game play? Come catch all the action at the Dugout Tavern and Grill in Apex. We've got a massive 16-foot surround sound video wall so you can watch every play and the famous ads in all their glory. During the big game, the Dugout is serving buy one, get one half off appetizers and $15 Sweetwater buckets all day. Come back Fat Tuesday to watch the big college rivalry basketball game with the Dugout and cheer on the athletes in Italy with $6 Peroni Euro Lager during the winter games. Catch all the games at the Dugout Tavern and Grill on Kelly Road in Apex.
What will your legacy be? I'm Amanda Mangum from Aspire Money Management, and planning for your future is more than just finances. It's about ensuring your loved ones are taken care of. From estate planning to tax-efficient strategies, we help you create a plan that reflects your wishes and secures your family's future. Don't wait to start this important conversation. Visit AspireMoneyManagement.net for a free analysis. That's AspireMoneyManagement.net. Let's work together to build your legacy today.
Summer in Raleigh just got hotter. Tim McGraw, the Pawn Shop Guitar Tour. Get lost in the songs you love to sing. With special guests, 49 Winchester. Get ready for a summer show you don't want to miss. Coastal Credit Union Music Park, Friday, August 7th. Tickets on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. at livenation.com. Part of the Mattress Warehouse Concert Series.
Slow to Spence, right on Bussy with another save. That was Batherson who jumped in and made the shot. Carolina come the other way. Jarvis lowers the shoulder, cuts, he scores! Oh, roll the highlight reel for Seth Jarvis. It's a beauty, and it's 3-1 Carolina.
It's game time.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
Put in work on the main line. Spend a couple racks just to save time.
It is time for a Feedback Frenzy, but if you're wondering why we just played a Seth Jarvis highlight to start Feedback Frenzy, it's because he just got the call. He will be replacing Braden Point on Team Canada for the Olympics. Dennis, quick question about Jarvie.
Yep.
You think he's got to cancel some kind of flight somewhere to some beach, and obviously happy to do so, but hopefully he got a refundable ticket or something?
Well, he did say a few days ago that he was on call. So
Okay.
I don't think he booked anything because he knew that he was on the, hey, if a couple guys get hurt, he might get a call.
All right, so or at least he would have been, booking the Airbnb with the extra refundable fee. Right?
Oh yeah,
like he would have been making sure he's taken care of. Happy for him though. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's jump to a quick Feedback Frenzy.
All right, this one comes from Comebread. Comebread on our YouTube live chat, speaking of Seth Jarvis, wants to know, do you think Sidney Crosby and Seth Jarvis will talk about the fathead that is on the door of Seth Jarvis's room at his home in Winnipeg, at his parents' house?
Obviously, the Sidney Crosby. Yes, I imagine so. I think those types of things are funny. And also, like, this is going to sound crazy. I bet you Crosby's kind of used to it. Like, how many of his teammates do you think grew up with a Sidney Crosby poster on their wall?
Probably about all of them.
Yeah, like, it's above 50%.
Yeah.
Like, Jarvis is not like, oh, look at this kid, what a nerd, he had a Sidney Crosby poster. It's like, no, if you're of that generation, you probably had a Sidney Crosby poster. I think you just kind of get used to it.
All right, this one also coming from our YouTube live chat. This one actually comes from... Oh, actually, I'm sorry, it went away for a moment. Comebread says this, also as well, along the lines of, Carolina players playing for other countries. In the Olympics, it feels like parents having to root for one kid over the others.
Well,
because you want your players to be successful, but they're also on different teams.
Shout out to Beth on Twitter, because I retweeted and made some jokes about Seth being on Team Canada, and now I have to root against him and things. Beth said, I'm elated for Jarvie, and also I resent now having to care about the Team Canada hockey team.
And there's that.
It's very much like, well, I hope he plays well. I don't hope they play well. I hope he plays well because he deserves it. But you're either for USA or against USA to me when you're looking at the Olympics.
Pretty plain and simple.
Us against the world, literally.
All right, this one actually comes from, we had a conversation, speaking of the Carolina Hurricanes, about our Timmy Panarin. Did not become a Carolina Hurricane yesterday. Got traded to the LA Kings. This one comes from our friend Boris Chang. Boris says, I don't know whom the Canes need to acquire, but I'm pretty certain that the current second line is not that of a cup-worthy team. A strong second center is essential. Ehlers plus a new guy plus Blake and move Stank to the fourth line. Oosh. Honestly, Stank is not an NHL center and probably never will be.
Okay, but could he play wing?
Yeah.
If you acquire the second line center, then I don't think you need him to play center. Fourth line Stankoven is a take. Who in this case would then be on the stall line?
I mean, if you still keep Ehlers there. Well, you said Ehlers with new guy. Honestly, in all honesty, you know that you could put Stankoven with Martinook and Stahl.
That would be.
But then that also puts Taylor Hall down on the quote unquote fourth line. You have William Carrier. There's still Eric Robinson.
Here's how I look at Taylor Hall, and this is a compliment to Taylor Hall. I think he's like a traveling carnival. He's not an amusement park. He's not a theme park. He sets up shop on a line for like 2 weeks, and then he picks up and goes to another line. He's in your town for 2 weekends. You have fun, you ride the zipper, you get on the scrambler, you win a couple teddy bears, and then he's gone, right? I don't think when he skates with the second line, I'm like, good, I like it. And then I want him gone 2.5 weeks later. I just don't know if he's built to skate second line minutes for months at a time. So it's almost like he's a bit of a nomad. And based on injury and form and who needs a shakeup, you put him there for a little bit and then you bring him back. And he can be anywhere. I just don't know if he has a home.
All right, this one comes from Terry Sweatman. Terry, this is all along the lines of the conversation we had when UNC basketball played Syracuse back on Monday and how they almost collapsed in that game against Syracuse. This one comes from Terry. Again, only 20 of 30 from the foul line. They seem to panic when pressed late in the game. Hit from the line at the end of the game if you want to win.
I mean, yeah, free throws are going to be a thing. And once you're up by that amount, usually if you just don't turn the ball over and you make your free throws, you're going to win.
Generally.
And like, that's not, no offense to I'm not like saying like, oh, Captain Obvious. That's not rocket science. So do whatever you got to do to not turn the ball over and make your free throws. And I don't think that's some, outlandish thing, right? Like, once you get a big lead in football, just make sure every single possession ends in a kick, a punt, an extra point, or a field goal, and you're good. Like, it'll just happen. It's just easier said than done in a lot of cases. Once that mighty that momentum gets going against you, all of a sudden your free throws, the hoop looks like a thimble. It's real difficult out there.
All right, final one here along that same conversation. This one comes from Dolphins with a Z. Dolphin says, we better not do that on Saturday if you're UNC.
Yeah, fair. But I think you're in a completely different mental state against Syracuse versus against Duke. Like, that's not apples to apples. You know what I mean? That's not even apples to oranges. That's like starfruit to lychee. Going to some real deep cut fruits. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Should we grab a big game boxes contestant here? We have 2 more to give away to lock in today. All right, we'll do the second to last big game boxes, caller number 10 right now of the day. We have more tomorrow for each day this week. Right now, caller number 10 at 919-860-5326 will be included in our big game boxes with the Drive game. Boxes, it's squares pool, it's the grid, whatever you call it at your big game parties. We're doing one. So if you call in and you're caller number 10 right now, you will be given 5 randomly assigned boxes on the grid, which will be decided Friday at 6 p.m. And then at the end of the big game on Sunday, the person with the box containing the correct pair of numbers will be given, or will be winning, I should say, a Derek Brown signed football. It is that simple. You call in, you're caller number 10, you get the boxes, you find out the numbers, you root for them, final score corresponds with your box. Derek Brown signed football is yours. The number to call, 919-860-5326. Caller number 10 right now at 919-860-5326. While Dennis gets those callers lined up, I'll let you know about Bailey's Fine Jewelry. They are having, by the way, a USA Hockey watch party when they take on Latvia February 12th. You can go stop in at Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location, enjoy complimentary drinks and snacks, celebrate the games. They have some cool giveaways, some tickets and things. And while you're cheering on, you can also try on. You can try on the pre-owned and vintage Rolex, the Omegas. You can try on the Norcanes, which has a really, really cool hockey-inspired exclusive edition, very exclusive watch that just dropped. Whatever you're looking for, they have it at Bailey's Fine Jewelry when it comes to luxury watch pieces. Look, goodness gracious. Luxury timepieces, not watch pieces. So go ahead and check it out. And their USA Hockey Watch Party as well on February 12th. And when you're there, let them know you heard about it from me, Tim, right here on 99.9 The Fan. Although luxury watch pieces does sound cool. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll be back with the starting five coming up next.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and the Rangers.
Oh, roll the highlight reel for Seth Jarvis.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck drop at 7.
Stahl's open. Stahl on a break. Stahl shoots and scores! The captain picks the corner!
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
Here I am.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent
When
on
sleep
application may
isn't
vary. Online
working,
health questions
everything
required.
feels harder. Your health, your patience, your focus, even your relationships. I'm Megan Giggling with Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Too often, people are told to wait months or even years just to talk to a sleep specialist. But untreated sleep problems don't wait. At Parkway, care begins within weeks with home sleep studies and fast, coordinated support so people can move forward instead of staying stuck. Better sleep changes everything.
Parkway Sleep, your fastest path to better sleep. Start today at parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep, sound health.
I feel like I am special, that I'm receiving an award for being an athlete.
The Coastal Scholar Athlete of the Month from 99.9 The Fan and Coastal Credit Union. To nominate your athlete, text AWARD to 919-860-5326.
Canes hockey is back. Grab an ice cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your Canes. Only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles, so easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Official hard tea and lemonade of the Carolina Hurricanes. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
John Porcelain here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. You know the big game is right around the corner, and it's time to start thinking about big game parties. Don't be that guy that doesn't get the best wings in town. So order your wings today from Buffalo Brothers. Come and get Buffalo Brothers Big Game Special. 2 large pizzas and 20 wings for just $50. That's food for the whole family at more than 20% off. But remember, order today as pickup times fill up fast. Buffalo Brothers. Oh man, now I want wings.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm
WRAL meteorologist Amy Wilmoth. Staying cold out there today. Temperatures really hovering in the upper 30s with mainly cloudy skies. We'll have clearing skies tonight and it turns colder. Lows are down into the low 20s. Some late day showers possible on Friday with highs back in the upper 40s.
This hour of The Drive is brought to you by Law Tigers. Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. Case evaluations are always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell today, down 592 points to 48,908.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Happy Thursday to everybody. It has been a pretty busy Thursday for, February 5th. Not exactly the day you expect a bunch of news, especially on a week where this weekend has all of the eyes, right? That's where all of the spotlights are pointed. There's Duke at Carolina. There's Super Bowl. May have heard of those two events. But today, NBA trade deadline, a lot of stuff happening. Seth Jarvis got the call from Team Canada. There's going to be the NFL awards. Basically, there's plenty to fill a very, very chock-full starting five. So let's jump into it. The starting five, starting with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Charlotte Hornets.
The Charlotte Hornets have been very active for the trade deadline for the NBA, which came today. Let's start with this. The big move. It's not really. The Boston Celtics traded Xavier Tillman Sr. to the Hornets for essentially cap relief, right? The Celtics need to get underneath certain aprons to save themselves a bunch of money, and the Celtics got out of the luxury tax with the move. If you look elsewhere, I got to go ahead and find it because there were a bunch of moves today.
So you're basically buying an asset if you're the Charlotte Hornets.
You're buying an asset, but you're also just helping someone else facilitate it and not really hurting yourself that much because you have so many young players on cost-controlled contracts. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Rookie contracts is the word I'm looking for.
But yeah, usually what that you get some sort of like, hey, I get a second-round pick out of the deal.
Or a player you like. You might actually like Tillman and say, we don't care that he's making X amount of dollars because we have it to give. Then there's some other moves, things like they traded for Kobe White, right? This was yesterday. Kobe White, the leading high school scorer in state of North Carolina history, went on to play for the Tar Heels and has since established himself as a pretty solid NBA guard. They trade for Kobe White, and in that move, they take on Mike Conley. Mike Conley, I think he's been playing in the NBA since I was like 7. This dude's been in the NBA for a very long time, wildly productive, all-time leader in certain statistics for the Memphis Grizzlies. And guess what? They bring on Mike Conley, and they waived him today. They parted ways with him. So essentially, right, to get the deal done to get Kobe White or to get a pick or to whatever, they had to take on a Mike Conley contract. They waive him. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't go back to Minnesota, which is allowed because on the pathway to the Hornets, he went to the Bulls, I believe, for a couple of minutes. So there's some complicated stuff going on as far as rosters, but the Hornets are more than happy. It feels very Carolina Hurricanes of them, if we're being honest. They're more than happy just to be like a background character in all of these deals and pick up tiny little bits of assets along the way, or in some cases, like Kobe White, a pretty good asset for them.
Yeah, for real.
To increase their chances or their future and take advantage of other teams that have painted themselves into a corner when it comes to cap or luxury tax in the NBA.
Sometimes you don't know when you basically, like I say, buy those assets, acquire those in the part of these trades. Like, for example, the Carolina Hurricanes took on the contract of Patrick Marleau from the Toronto Maple Leafs years ago, got a first-round pick out of the deal. Basically, you bought a first-round pick. You know who that became?
I do.
Seth Jarvis.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you want me to say
Seth Jarvis.
It's Team Canada's latest addition to their Olympic roster.
So you never know what you're going to get. That's the reason why you get more darts at the dartboard if you can.
Absolutely. And it's I mean, it feels like there's a bit of Midas touch going on with the Hornets right now. Just like everything they touch turns to gold. Everything that is working. From Con Knipple to Diabate to so many of the moves they've made recently. Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball's looking strong. There's a lot of good going on there. So, yeah, keep firing, right? You're shooting a high percentage. Obviously, the biggest deal in the NBA was Anthony Davis being traded to the Wizards. It happens, right? Anthony Davis is going to have the most confusing career when we look back. He's going to have been like an MVP candidate for a handful of years. He's going to have an NBA championship. He's going to be a 10, 12-time All-Star, whatever it ends up being. And he's going to feel like the booby prize in the Luka Doncic trade. Like he's like you were left holding the bag and it's empty. And then he's going to end up with the Wizards with D'Angelo Russell and Trae Young. And who knows how that goes? You know what I mean? It's going to be very, very strange. I don't even know where to go with that. Just strange. Maybe Scottie Pippen where it's like you had this great, super strong, everybody likes your reputation, and then at the end you're like on the Rockets or the Trailblazers, and it's just weird. It's kind of what the Anthony Davis vibes I'm getting. That's number 5, the NBA trade deadline. Let's jump to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
Again, it's Chinyelu defending. Help from Plajar. Evans for 3. They left Evans, and he made him pay.
Duke at Carolina on Saturday. Top 15 matchup. We talked about it earlier. I think this is going to be one of those games where there's almost 2 games going on. There is the game of execution and great ability and things like when Cameron Boozer catches it on the post with somebody on his back, he gets to do what makes him special. Or on the opposite side, when Caleb Wilson gets it with a full head of steam and is slashing towards the bucket, we get to see what makes him special. And those plays are going to be going on. Seth Trimble trying to jump into the kitchen of Duke's ball handlers. Same vice versa. Dame Sarr trying to lock up all the wings for UNC. Just old school mano-a-mano basketball. There's also going to be some chess matches going on between Hubert Davis and John Shire as far as what tempo do you want to play, as far as what matchups are you going to try to exploit, as far as styles and everything else. And I'm going to be there for both of them. I think they're both going to be wildly exciting. I think both teams have obvious weak points, some bigger than others. Duke's going to try to exploit the perimeter of UNC. UNC's going to try to turn Duke into a three-point shooting team because both of those things have been their Achilles heels as of late, if they have them. And who can do the best job at making those flaws appear big and important? And then which players are able to erase them, right? How ironic would it be if UNC is forcing Duke to be a three-point shooting team and, Isaiah Evans goes 6 of 8 and Homania goes 3 of 5 and it becomes like the strength. How ironic would it be if Duke sells out to stop Wilson and Vasar and Trimble has 20 and Derek Dixon has 15? Sometimes players just make plays. So I'm excited for it. Should be a really fun one. We'll break it down more tomorrow. And on top of that, it's just an old school top 15 matchup between Duke and UNC. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3.
There's the snap. Here's the blitz. Young throws deep down the left side. He wants McMillan. Makes the catch. Touchdown! Teteroa McMillan with 7 seconds to go in the first half. And Carolina takes the lead 12-10.
Here's the deal, everybody. The NFL awards are tonight. You just heard a Teteroa McMillan highlight. I believe he is Offensive Rookie of the Year. He is one of the finalists. The more suspense for, I would say, local football fans tonight comes from the Hall of Fame inductees being announced, who's going to be in this year's class. Amongst the finalists, Luke Kuechly, obviously one of the best defensive players in NFL history and Carolina Panthers history, and Torrey Holt, who's been a finalist for a handful of years now. NC State product who became famous or even more famous, I should say, with his time with the St. Louis Rams. Dennis, I'm going to put you on the spot. Kuechly, Holt, or both, or none? Who's included in today's announced Hall of Fame induction class?
I think both should be in.
Okay.
I think they both should be in. I think Torrey Holt is long overdue.
I completely agree with that.
So if I only had to pick one to go in this year, I would say Torrey Holt, just because Kuechly is still very fresh at this. Torrey Holt should already be in the Hall of Fame. Holt definitely right now. If I only had to pick one, Torrey Holt.
Now I'm asking you to predict. Both, which you'd have to name, or neither. Who gets into this year's class?
I think Breeze gets in.
Breeze, Fitzgerald are almost locks.
And
there's Jason Witten, many will want in.
Yeah.
There are a few wide receivers who kind of are battling with Torrey Holt as far as like if you're putting a wide receiver in, who it would be. Reggie Wayne amongst them. Torrey Holt and obviously Larry Fitz. Other options that are popular, Adam Vinatieri.
Nah, he can wait.
We've already kind of gotten word Eli Manning's not in. Frank Gore is a confusing one because he's top 3 in a whole bunch of running back stats, but it's more stat accumulation. There's a couple offensive linemen.
Yeah, they can wait.
Terrell Suggs is up there in sack totals, but he's got some off-the-field stuff going on.
Yeah, he'll probably wait.
Marshall Yanda, as far as offensive line go.
Nah, he can wait.
So prediction, Breeze in, Fitzgerald in. You're putting Holt in?
Yeah.
Prediction or saying what should happen?
I think he gets in.
He gets in. Are you putting Kuechly in?
Probably not. I
Okay.
could see Reggie Wayne going in as well. Would not surprise me if they put 3 wideouts in.
Reggie Wayne, Holt, Fitzgerald, Breeze.
Probably goes Witten.
Yeah, Witten. He's kind of the Frank Gore of tight ends to me, though.
There's a little of that.
He just was around a long time catching passes from Tony Romo for a long time. All right, we'll see how it goes. That's all coming up tonight. NFL honors. MVP will also be awarded. Offensive Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Defensive Rookie of the Year, Protector of the Year, Coach of the Year. I thought Canales might get a couple Coach of the Year, maybe a finalist mention. Not a real contender, but a finalist mention, just because who had Carolina in the postseason, but not there. Okay, last prediction. Does McMillan get Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That one's more open and shut for you. Jackson Dart, Travion Henderson. I forget who the other finalists
Tyler
are.
Shuck, get out of here.
In division? Goodness. I would not want to be the Saints next year if Shuck wins. McMillan's going to go for 300 in the 2 games. That is number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the 2. It's a power play for Carolina. They'll win the draw. Jarvis will get to it. Now Aho sent that Jarvis shot. He scores! On the power play! Seth Jarvis puts the Canes up 2-1.
The Olympics are already underway. The opening ceremonies haven't taken place, but competition has begun. The USA women's hockey team beat, what was it?
Czechia.
There you go. 5-1 earlier today, so they're off to a hot start. Curling has started. A few other of the qualifying runs and snowboarding and the jumps and all that have gotten underway. The news of today involving the Olympics, however, Canes fans will very much appreciate this. Seth Jarvis replacing Braden Point on Team Canada. Braden Point out with the injury. Seth Jarvis has gotten the call. He's gotten the inclusion.
Let's go. Congrats to him.
Very excited for Seth Jarvis. Earned it. You can tell it means something to him. There is, within the next probably 4 years, there's going to be a big changing of the guard in Team Canada. And the fact that he gets this inclusion, there's no doubt in my mind, if his career keeps going the way it is and he's healthy, he'll get the next one as well. But it'll be a very different looking locker room by then. So getting this one, getting to share that memory with the Sidney Crosbys and right, that changing of the guard, the torchbearers for the moment is really cool for him. I'm happy for him. I think Canada was ridiculous for making him wait this long. I think he should have been on the original inclusion, but happy for him. With that being said, you're either with us or against us, and we're Team USA. So you're either with us, US, or against us, US. And so as soon as the clock expires or the overtime expires or the shootout expires if they need it tonight for the Canes-Rangers game, I'm rooting against Seth Jarvis, or at least the team that he plays on. I'll root for him to have individual success, and I am happy for him. But sorry, Jacob Slavin round here. You know what I mean? That's what we're rolling with. Question for you for the Olympics, though, with them getting started. Winter Olympics, favorite non-hockey sport?
Biathlon.
Oh, the skiing and the shooting.
Yes. That is the best.
Is that
outside of hockey? It is the absolute best sport.
I don't know if I've ever watched it.
It's so fun.
That's because it's cross-country skiing, right?
Yeah,
which is the ridiculous, like, left and right and big arm swings.
Yeah, you're cross-country skiing with a rifle strapped to your back, and then you got to get to, like, a checkpoint. Okay, now I got to shoot 5 times at this target. Then I got to go to the next spot. It's awesome.
That is, I mean, it's a good answer. I don't know what I was expecting. Favorite non-hockey sport, biathlon.
Biathlon.
Hands down.
The best.
No questions. Do you know what is? I watch it. I don't pay attention the whole time, but I make sure to catch a couple clips every Winter Olympics because it makes my brain confused. Ski jumping.
Okay.
Where they go like hundreds and hundreds of feet in a rigid reel, just flying through the air, and they just land. It's ridiculous.
So it's like, your form and stuff, like when you're like flying through the air on these skis that are like 12 feet long. It's pretty insane.
Here's the question I have. Who did it first?
I don't know.
Who was like, we can jump off the little jumps down here, and we can go like 30, 40 feet in the air. We can do flips and spins and stuff. But what if we made the ramp like 8 times the size, and we flew down at a ridiculous rate and just absolutely launched ourselves down a mountain at ridiculous speeds? Oh, good idea. Yeah, we should do that. Absolute lunacy. But it is cool to watch, and they are fearless. Any other results that matter to us? I think the women's hockey team was the big one.
Yeah.
That's number 2. Let's jump to number 1.
The 1! Let's do that hockey.
Canes, Rangers, tonight at 7. It is the last game before the Olympic break. So if your name's not Sebastian Aho, Freddie Anderson, Jacob Slavin, Nikolai Ehlers, or Seth Jarvis, they're going into a nice little break here, right? About 3 weeks, no games. The players I just mentioned will be representing their countries at the Olympics. I'm eliminating that group, Dennis. Aho, Anderson, Slavin, Ehlers, Jarvis, not included. Who needs a big game tonight? Who needs to go off into that 3 weeks, no games, with a smile on their face, confident, right? When they see their family, their uncle that they haven't seen in a while, they want that uncle going, "Hey, superstar," rather than, you need a break, man. You've been working hard.
2 guys popped to mind, Stankoven and Blake. 2 guys that popped to mind.
I said this yesterday, but you lead into it perfectly. Younger guys, I think, matter more. Right? Like, I said this yesterday. If Martinook has a rough game tonight, right, I think he'll be fine, right? He's been okay. If somebody like, even if it were like a Svetch or something, right? He's just been through it. He's ridden the roller coaster so many times. Much bigger ups and downs and loop-de-loops than a bad game leading into the Olympics when you take into account injuries and everything else and postseason success and failures. But the Blakes, the Stankovens, the Nikishins, some of these Brandon Bussies, right? Some of these guys that are either very young or brand new to the NHL, I do think this game matters as far as sending them off with a smile on their face and having them come back more confident, right? Having them come back even more excited rather than needing to do a little bit of, confidence building during the break. So I'm looking at the young guys there. Brandon Bussey is expected to be in net. He is 22-3-1 this year. One more opportunity for him to get another win. 23-3-1 would be bananas going into the break. And the other thing is, he's at 15 home wins, right? I think is the number. I know it's at least 14. 22 wins, 14 or 15 of them at home. I think getting more and more experience on the road is important for him because as it stands right now, Brandon Bussey is your goalie one with a huge amount of responsibility on his shoulders. And as you get to the most important games, meaning the postseason, you're going to be able to do it at home and on the road, right? It can't be just the friendly confines of the Lenovo Center. So another opportunity for him to go and do what I'm sure is a pretty important venue for him. He's a Long Island guy, and MSG to anybody that grew up in New York has to be a pretty, I imagine to myself playing there kind of thing for him. Last point I'll make, or last question I'll ask you, Dennis, before we get to an if-then statement. Keandre Miller revenge game. What do you expect from him going back? Last time they played at the Rangers, he was not available. He was out with an injury. So this is his first time on the ice at MSG as an opponent. What are you looking at?
I think he's going to have a little extra juice in this one.
I agree.
Yeah.
And they asked him about it.
A little extra juice.
You could tell in his eyes, even as he said, obviously I circled this one on my calendar. You could tell his eyes were like, darn straight. Buckle up.
Yeah, you'll see a little extra juice. Might even see a little extra physicality from him tonight, maybe.
Ooh, I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate it either. I was thinking more a little extra aggression as far as letting his shot fly. I
see all of it.
I think I would like it even more if it's a little extra as far as throwing his weight around. Big dude. People forget how big that guy is.
Oh, yeah.
You walk by him. I'm 6'4". I don't usually look up at many hockey players. He's a big dude. He's lanky too. Good for poke checks. Last question, Dennis. I have to ask you.
All right.
If blank happens, then the Canes win and they head off into the break with a win. Their point streak's still intact and everything kind of on the up.
If they do not give up a power play goal, if their penalty kills 100%, they win this one.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of answers to that question today. I think the Rangers could be a little rattled by the way their season's going and by the way the last 48 hours played out for them and one of their guys who's now a king, not a Kane, a king. Of course, Artemi Panarin. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on and grab our numbers game contestants, I want to tell you all about Maynard Service Company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. You heard me reference the friendly confines of your home arena. You want your home to be, or your home arena, a.k.a. your house, to be friendly, to be welcoming, to be cozy, to be, when it's really cold outside, nice and toasty. When it's really hot outside, to be refreshingly cool. To be when you need to use things like the toilet, to have your plumbing dependable. And, of course, all of that kind of depends on you walk in, you flip the switch, the electricity works. Maynard Service Company is here to make sure the friendly confines of your home arena, a.k.a. your house, are exactly that. You don't want to be having an away game. You don't want to have, all the legends, right? The old coaches used to turn the heat all the way up to make other teams tired. The opposing team's locker room is set to freezing. We used to play at Maine in college, the locker room, we used to use the hockey locker room while they got a football locker room. The away locker room was a hockey locker room. Freezing cold. It's all that stuff, right? You don't want that going on in your own house. So call Maynard Service Company, the heating system, the cooling system, the plumbing, the electric. They'll make sure it's all running right. Give them a call, 919-361-0993, or visit them online at MaynardServices.com, MAYNOR services.com. True story, by the way. And you know what else they would do? We were in the away hockey locker room. Okay. They would have the main hockey team practicing while we were coming in and out of the locker room pregame because, we went to the University of Delaware. We didn't watch a lot of hockey, and hockey in person, especially like Maine had a good team. It's cool, right? So when we should be locking in, we're watching them going like, whoa, slap shot, whoa, goalie, whoa. And it's all part of the game. The first time you do it, you're like, oh, it's kind of cool. They're practicing. The second time you go back up there for another away game, it's like, oh, they do this on purpose, don't they? Mm-hmm. They got us in a small away hockey locker room with practice going on Saturday night. Why are they practicing Saturday night? They're trying to get us.
I remember lacrosse, I think it was my sophomore year, there was like an issue with like the facility on a road team that we were playing at. So next to the field was like a garage with like where the maintenance staff kept their tractors and all that kind of stuff. And that's where we changed.
Yeah. Well, I
for a game, for college.
I could give you all the rundowns in the locker room. Certain they would only give us like 1 or 2 stalls to use as we had a team of 56 guys there. They'd be close to where our coach is trying to talk, where the stall is. That like they know what they're doing over there.
Mm-hmm.
I won't put them all on blast, but I never liked Maine because it was always freezing in the locker room. It'd be cold out for the game. You'd come inside at halftime to warm up. It'd be just as cold in the locker room. It's like, what are we doing here? The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We need numbers game contestants. Call in now, 919-860-5326 for your chance to compete in the numbers game. The prize for today, 4-pack of tickets to see Monster Jam at the Lenovo Center on February 21st. If you want the Monster Jam 4-pack, again, not a pair, a 4-pack of tickets, call 919-860-5326 and win. Numbers game coming up next.
Amy Cox did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. And with that money, she decided to treat herself to an anti-aging red light mask. Will she look like a horror movie villain every night? Yes. Will her boyfriend Kevin be scarred for life? That's certainly a risk. But it's Amy's savings, and if she's willing to risk her relationship for smooth, wrinkle-free skin, well, bye-bye, Kevin. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
The world's best athletes in Italy are going for the gold, and 99.9 The Fan will help you follow them for all 16 days of the Winter Games. Starting this weekend, listen for all the action from across the Atlantic. Check in often for event finals from Italy and the updated medal count as the USA takes on the world. Updates from the Winter Games on 99.9 The Fan are presented by WakeMed.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
You pull up at a McDonald's drive-thru at the crack of dawn to get your $3 crispy chicken biscuit. You've been craving it all night. It was a very long night, but your taste buds pulled through. Those are no ordinary taste buds, and you are no ordinary human. You are a champion, and you deserve a $3 crispy chicken biscuit. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-656-1551. That's 800-656-1551.
Get as loud as you can for Monster Jam!
The one and only Monster Jam. Packed with stunts, smiles, and jaw-dropping skills. See the world's best drivers tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks. Like Gravedigger, El Toro Loco, Sparkle Smash, and more. Only at Monster Jam. Coming to Lenovo Center, February 21st and February 22nd. Brought to you by BKT Tires. Visit monsterjam.com.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here from 99.9 The Fan for my good friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I've talked a lot about the journey that I've been on with Raleigh Weight Loss Center, and I've lost over 40 pounds, 42 pounds to be exact, thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And the thing I appreciate about the program with Raleigh Weight Loss Center is the fact that there's an open line of communication with the people that work there. If you got questions during the process, if you have concerns, maybe things aren't going the way you expect, you have an open line of communication. It's not just, here's a program, follow it, we'll send you on your way. You can actually directly talk with these people, and you have follow-up appointments during the entire process in that weight loss journey. That's why you got to give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com and set up a free 15-minute phone call. Again, free 15-minute phone call. You got questions, you got concerns, maybe any health issues you want to bring to the table. Have all those questions answered thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. 919-897-7506 or RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. Our contestants for today, Tyler in Durham, Jason in Clayton. They will be battling it out for a 4-pack of tickets to see Monster Jam. As always, we'll bring them each onto the show, ask them the same question. Dennis will listen to the answers, pick his favorite, and that person will get to go first. And we'll go from there. We'll start with Tyler. Tyler, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, the question for today is eliminating, so you can't choose hockey or biathlon, because we just talked about those two and how much Dennis likes them. What is your favorite Winter Olympic sport? Again, no hockey, no biathlon.
Snowboarding.
Snowboarding. Anything specific as far as the actual event, or just anything involving snowboarding?
Anything involving snowboarding. Freestyle is cool.
Okay. Snowboarding, anything, freestyle is cool. Dennis, any follow-ups?
No questions.
All right, we go to Jason and Clayton. Jason, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. Same question to you. You can't answer hockey. You can't answer biathlon because we've already given you those answers. What is your favorite non-hockey or biathlon Winter Olympic sport?
I think I'm going to go out on a limb and try the new one, the skimo. I think it's kind of cool to be able to run up a mountain and then ski back down. I'm pretty interested to see how that goes.
Hold on. What is it called?
It's ski mountaineering or skimo.
Ski mountaineering. I have to be honest, I'm not up on my new Winter Olympic sports.
Okay, I'm going to read up on this.
So you run up to the top and ski down?
Yeah, they run and ski up with these treads on their skis, and then they race back down. You got to run up and ski down. I'm hyped. I think it's going to be neat.
I don't know if that sounds awesome or just exhausting. But
yeah, a little bit of both.
But I'm with it. Dennis, any follow-ups?
No follow-ups.
Okay, perfect. Jason, you are locked in with skimo. Tyler went with snowboarding, freestyle, but really any kind. And Jason went ski mountaineering.
All right, so it's a skiing discipline that involves climbing mountains, either on skis or carrying them, depending on the steepness of the ascent, and then descending on skis. So yeah, you basically basically before there are chairlifts, how'd you get up the mountain? That's how you got up the mountain.
So
that seems terrible in terms of just exhaustion. And I'm going to go with snowboarding for the simple fact that ski mountaineering hasn't been an Olympic sport yet.
My curiosity is piqued.
But
I don't know if it's my favorite, but my curiosity is piqued.
Okay, but yeah, ski mountaineering. It sounds cool, but it hasn't been an Olympic sport yet, so I'm going to go with snowboarding. So I'm going to go Tyler and Durham on this one.
It sounds like, you're going to be tested in swimming, but first you have to carry the buckets to fill up the pool, and then you swim. It's like
have fun.
You got to do a lot of work, and then you get to do the actual event. All right, so who gets to go first? Tyler gets to go first. And then Jason, you'll have your chance, just have to sit on hold. Tyler, are you ready to pick a category?
Yeah.
All right, the categories are NFL Panthers throughout history, NFL last names end in a vowel, NBA current players who were born in late January, or NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
NFL vowel.
Okay, these are all players whose last name ends in a vowel. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock, one pass if you need it. Do you have any questions before we get started?
No.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Tua Tagovailoa, Miami Dolphins.
7.
Incorrect. Troy Polamalu, Pittsburgh Steelers.
43.
Correct. Nick Bosa, San Francisco 49ers.
97.
Correct. Puka Nacua, Los Angeles Rams.
12.
Correct. Alvin Kamara, New Orleans Saints.
43.
Incorrect. Tua Tagovailoa, Miami Dolphins.
3.
Incorrect. Alvin Kamara, New Orleans
41.
Saints. Correct. Tua Tagovailoa, Miami Dolphins.
7. 5.
Incorrect. Tua Tagovailoa, Miami Dolphins.
5.
Incorrect. Give us one more guess for Tua. See how close it would have been.
9.
Okay, you're fine because no big regret. Number 1 is what we were looking for Tua. You got 4 out of 5 though, very solid number. For those of you playing at home, we also would have accepted 17 for Puka. He wore that earlier in his career. But 4 out of 5 is the number to beat, and that will bring us to Jason. Jason, are you there?
I'm here.
All right. The categories remaining for you to choose from. Oh, you're going Canes. You don't even need to hear me repeat the rest?
No.
All right. I'll give you the team and the player. You give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. You need all 5 for the win, and I will say the team in this category, just to keep it fair timing-wise with the other categories. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Nope, no questions.
All right. If you have no questions, we will get started when you hear the horn. Taylor Hall, Carolina Hurricanes.
11.
Incorrect. Pyotr Kochetkov, Carolina Hurricanes.
52.
Correct. Kevin Adams, Carolina Hurricanes.
41.
Incorrect. Taylor Hall, Carolina Hurricanes.
71.
Correct. Andrei Kovalenko, Carolina Hurricanes.
20.
Incorrect. Kevin Adams, Carolina Hurricanes.
14.
Correct. Zach Dalpe, Carolina Hurricanes.
9.
You were working your way through it. It was a bit more methodical than as quick as it needed to be. But 3 out of 5, solid showing. Unfortunately, not enough for the win, but hopefully you had some fun.
Yeah.
And you introduced a new sport to us, which not many people can say that to a sports radio show, that you literally introduced a new sport to us. For those of you playing at home, we would have accepted 14 or 15 for Kevin Adams, Kovalenko 51, and Dalpe 22. That's what we were looking for. But the winner is Tyler. Tyler and Durham, you have a 4-pack of tickets coming your way to Monster Jam as it comes to the Lenovo Center. Congrats.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, stay on the line, and Dennis will grab the info he needs to make sure you get your prize. How about that? Ski mountaineering. I was not anticipating learning a new sport today. And also, you know how I was joking earlier about like who was the first one to suggest ski jumping? Who was the first person to suggest ski mountaineering? Who was the first person to go, yeah, skiing's a cool sport, but what if we did like the hardest thing we've ever done right before it, and then we skied? Does that sound fun? Let's go run up a mountain and ski up a mountain. I don't even know how you do that. And then go down. That sounds like a great time, doesn't it? I don't know. I don't know if it sounds like a great time to me. I guess it has hints of like biathlon or even like steeplechase, where it's like, hey, you got to have this gigantic cardio event and then do something at the end that you get to celebrate. Actually, here's where I'm going to stand on this. I bet you the skiing barely ever impacts things, right? If you're climbing up a mountain, that's got to take significantly longer than it does to get down a mountain. It's like if in high school track, we used to do these relays at like relay meets where you would have to do like a 400 runner, an 800 runner, a mile, and a 2 mile. And the 400 runner never impacted anything, right? It always came down to the mile or in the 2 mile because you can make up, minutes on those events. And then the 400, you could make up seconds and it really didn't matter. I feel like if you if you mountaineer the best, you're going to be at the top, a minute before everybody else, which isn't that much for hiking up a mountain, but it's a ton for a ski event. So all you got to do is be the best mountaineer, right? Now I'm curious. I'm going to pay attention to that event. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Dennis, you have something you'd like to tell everybody?
I do. Dennis Cox here real quick for Loan Pronto. Folks, low mortgage rates, they are back. And Loan Pronto has fixed-rate mortgages with APRs as low as 4.89%, the lowest in years. And smart homeowners are taking advantage of this while they can. If you got stuck in a 6% loan, you could lower your payment big time. Or you can keep your primary mortgage intact and get cash out of your home equity with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. One homeowner just got $250,000 out of their home. They paid off all their credit cards and some car loans and cut their monthly expenses by $2,000. Call now and see what options work best for you, but don't miss the big rate drop of 2026. Ask about new home loans, VA loans, full cash out refis, or their famous Rapid Equity Loan. You can close in less than 2 weeks, and you may be able to skip your next 2 house payments altogether. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171, APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll look at all of the local guys, the local connections, the North Carolinas than Carolinians and those with connections. North Carolina's it doesn't make any sense. North Carolinians and those with connections to North Carolina that are playing in the big game, the old Super Bowl this weekend, coming up next. And we will get another big game box 10th caller, our last one of the day. So that's coming up soon. Stick around.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and the Rangers.
Oh, roll the highlight reel for Seth Jarvis.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck drop at 7.
Stahl's open. Stahl on a break. Stahl shoots. Scores! The captain picks the corner.
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
Breaking news. Multiply the Cash scratch-offs are here and have $1 billion in total prizes. Mike's live on the scene.
The word is out, and with so much cash up for grabs, everyone's getting in on this $1 billion. Grandma?
Out of my way, Mikey. Granny's on a roll.
You heard it here first, folks. Get in on $1 billion of wins with new Multiply the Cash from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 3.01 to 4.82. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone,
Welcome to AutoZone.
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Stained. Break the Cycle 25th Anniversary Tour. Featuring Seether. Stained. Friday, September 11th. Coastal Credit Union Music Park, Raleigh. With special guests, Hoobastank and Hinder. Tickets on sale Friday at livenation.com. Part of the Mattress Warehouse Concert Series.
John Porcelain here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. You know the big game is right around the corner, and it's time to start thinking about big game parties. Don't be that guy that doesn't get the best wings in town. So order your wings today from Buffalo Brothers. Come and get Buffalo Brothers Big Game Special. 2 large pizzas and 20 wings for just $50. That's food for the whole family at more than 20% off. But remember, order today as pickup times fill up fast. Buffalo Brothers. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Hey guys, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Bailey's Fine Jewelry makes it easy for you to find the perfect gift for the one you love. Bailey's has something for everyone and every budget. They have a huge selection of jewelry and gifts, highly sought after pieces from David Yurman, Hippolyta, Lagos, and Bailey's collections, as well as an impressive array of diamond jewelry. Visit Bailey's in Raleigh, Cary, Rocky Mount, Greenville, and Charlotte, or at baileybox.com.
This hour of the drive is brought to you by Law Tigers. Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. Case evaluations are always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Had to wait for the drums to kick in. Had to. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. There is a pretty big game this weekend.
Which one?
Yeah, Carolina Duke or the Super Bowl. Which two? You know what? There's good. One on Saturday, one on Sunday. They don't compete. They're both the big game. Actually, that's. I saw this as the. I forget who said it. It was Brandon Ingram Brandon Ingram in some podcast somewhere. I just saw this clip, so I don't know what it was from. Wasn't listening to the pod, but I apologize for not attributing appropriately. And I loved the idea of it. He said, if you walk into an NBA locker room and ask, hey, who watched the game last night? The ones where everyone's hands go up, that's going to be the best teams in the NBA. He's like, you have to be obsessed with basketball to the point where you and now I'm building off of his point, where your job is basketball, you practice basketball, you play basketball, you think about basketball, you work about basketball, and then in your free time, you make sure you're watching basketball to be a truly obsessively psycho great basketball player. And I think that's true in a lot of sports, and I think that's why something like the Super Bowl is like important for everybody, right? I want the Panthers watching. I want them trying to pick one thing out of it or pick one little morsel of how that team operated or how that team had success and see if they can't figure out a way to work it into their game. It is that big of a deal when it comes to the NFL and in just our culture, which is why it's really cool that there's a bunch of local guys playing in it, right? This will be 100+ million people watching, and they will all be tuned in to see players that grew up right here. Players that grew up playing for schools right near us. I have a list here. I'm going to run through them, and I put them in order of how important I think they're going to be in this game. Okay? Should we start with Patriots or Seahawks?
Let's go Seahawks.
All right, Seahawks. Drake Thomas, Heritage High School, and out there in Wake Forest, and played for NC State in college, so he's a twofer, both a local guy and a local college guy. Undrafted free agent who left early. I found that interesting. We were talking with his brother the other day. Key starter for the Seahawks. One of their best players, surprisingly, after a breakout kind of entire season here. Playmaker as far as getting his hands on the ball, creating chaos, forcing fumbles, pass breakups, has an interception. One of the more important players on the Seahawks defense. Next up, Jaron Reed. He went to Alabama, but is a Goldsboro High School, Goldsboro, North Carolina native. 10th season. That's crazy. That makes you feel old. Jaron Reed is in his 10th season in the NFL. 31 tackles, 3 for a loss, 2.5 sacks this year. Chaz Surratt next up for the Seahawks. East Lincoln High School, Denver, North Carolina. Went to UNC as a quarterback, turned him into a linebacker. He's been on injured reserve for the last couple of months. Mm-hmm. Activated off injured reserve, expected to play a special teams role for the Seahawks. Derek Young, another special teamer. Dennis, what college did he go to?
Lenore Ryan, D2.
There you go. Apex, North Carolina, Middle Creek High School. He is a special teamer, receiver, do-it-all. That's a great career. No offense to Lenore Ryan for a guy from Lenore Ryan. That is the odds were against you, and you have established yourself in the NFL.
7th round pick, by the way.
And he's. I feel like the Seahawks always have a guy like this. Mm-hmm. David Moore was a guy like that for the Seahawks.
Yeah, he was.
And now he's one catch away from being a legend in the Super Bowl, depending on how that rolls. And then Jake Bobo, wide receiver for Duke, regular and postseason this year. He has 4 catches. One of them was a touchdown in the NFC Conference Championship. That's getting bang for your buck for Bobo. Those are the Seahawk impactors from local.
But yeah, Chaz Surratt, like you said, East Lincoln High School,
mm-hmm.
Lincoln County.
There
My fiance's from.
Oh.
She went to Lincolnton, kind of a rival, so there's only
he's like a blocked punt recovered for a touchdown away from the sign into town saying home of Chaz Surratt.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how big the Super Bowl is. You make a giant play here, you become a celebrity in certain towns forever.
That's true.
Looking at the Patriots, number one, Drake May. We've talked about him so much. Myers Park, Charlotte guy, UNC, Drake May. But how about I'm putting Jared Wilson second most important.
Okay.
West Forsyth High School, Clemens, North Carolina, went to Georgia. By the way, keeping a streak of, I think it's 25 straight years, Georgia's had a player in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, West Forsyth, that's where Chris Paul went to, right?
Perhaps. I don't know that off the top of my head. Wouldn't be surprised. He's a rookie 3rd-round pick. Started 13 games. He's played in 92% of the possible snaps. For a team that had a horrendous offensive line last year, he is one of the new guys that stepped up and made it, I don't want to say like best or anything, but like a acceptable NFL offensive line. The next guy on our list, Garrett Bradbury, he was a big free agent acquisition, and we're going to talk about him, but that one makes sense. The third-round rookie is where it's like, oh, that's how the Patriots accelerated when they got third-round rookies having huge impact on a key position of need and staying durable and playing well. So Jared Wilson, very, very important. Garrett Bradbury next on our list. Charlotte Christian out there in Charlotte. NC State, big free agency acquisition, started all 17 games. He's played 98% of their snaps. Veteran. He and Drake May have worked really, really well together. So go ahead and just understand that, a former first-round pick, interior offensive line, he's going to be a guy that they lean upon a bunch.
Especially against that defense.
Especially both guys.
Good Lord.
Interior offensive linemen up against what the Seahawks have built with their interior defensive linemen. That's why they're so important. They better have the game of their lives if they want to win a Super Bowl. Next up, Harold Landry. Pine Forest High School, Fayetteville, North Carolina.
That's right.
Went to Boston College. He's kind of a star. He's been banged up. He's been hurt. But he was asked this week as part of his media if he's going to play. I have the quote for you. He said, yeah, we'll see how the week goes. But, yeah, I would anticipate that when asked if he was playing. They need to make Sam Darnold as uncomfortable as possible. And Harold Landry, being one of those dudes, he can get after the quarterback when he's right. So if he's right and he's feeling good, that would be a big deal for the Patriots. So the reason why he's 4 is because he might be hurt. And, 80% Harold Landry, So who knows there. Number 5, Mac Hollins, wide receiver, went to North Carolina. Fascinating dude. You'll see him walking around barefoot in all over the Bay Area or wherever this game is being played. But he connects. He makes some really big catches. He had the biggest play of the game offensively for New England in the conference championship, catching the flea flicker. He's a big player. And then Corey Durden, defensive tackle, NC State. Again, the interiors of both the offense and defensive line are wildly important on both sides. He's from Florida, started his career at Florida State, finished it, though, at NC State. So Corey Durden, another one that is one play away, right? If it's the right play at the right time, from all of a sudden, like his fathead, his wall poster would be next to like Phillip Rivers and Roman Gabriel walking around NC State's campus if he makes the right play at the right time. So there you go. That's just a rundown. Most important players with local ties in the big game, the Super Bowl, on Sunday. How about it? Let's quickly get to big game boxes. Caller number 10 will receive 5 randomly assigned boxes on the grid to be determined on Friday for our big game boxes pool. The person with the box containing the numbers that correspond to the final score of the big game on Sunday will win a signed Pro Bowl defensive tackle Derek Brown football. So call in now, 919-860-5326. 919-860-5326. Caller number 10 will get the prize, or the boxes and the potential prize. Up next here on 99.9 The Fan, Overdrive. We're talking Duke UNC to start. And don't forget, Canes tonight, 7 o'clock, right here on 99.9 The Fan. Storm Watch with Adam Gold prior to. Until tomorrow, have a great night, everybody. We'll see you then. Peace.
Adam.
I'm Adam Gold, and I'm there.
Tim.
I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm there.
Dennis.
I'm Dennis Cox, and I'm there.
Victoria.
I'm Victoria Bodenecker, and I'm there.
Paul.
I'm Paul Eihander, and I'm there too.
You'll find them all here on the brand new 99.9 The Fan app. To work, to school, the beach, the mountains, the arena, take The Fan with you wherever you go. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. Powered by Aspire Money Management.
This is the sound of Lucy, staying on top of her spending. You see, even though she's buying a new pair of jeans, she knows that it fits within her monthly budget. Because Wells Fargo will send an alert if her balance drops below her set amount. Yep, nothing gets past Lucy, or Wells Fargo for that matter. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
It's Heart Month. I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm here with Dr. Andrew Sampson of WakeMed Heart and Vascular. Doctor, in simplest terms, what exactly is a heart murmur, and how do you know if you have one?
So a heart murmur is just turbulent blood flow going through the different chambers of the heart. It can be completely benign, something that has no effect on your health, or it can be due to a heart valve that works inappropriately or incorrectly. And that can be due to either narrowing of the heart valve or a leaky heart valve. You typically are diagnosed with a heart murmur by your primary care doctor, who listens to your chest with a stethoscope. Once that has been evaluated and it's been determined that you do have a heart murmur, the next step is typically an echocardiogram or an ultrasound of the heart for further evaluation.
If you have more questions about heart murmurs or anything about your general heart health, go ahead and visit wakemed.org. And keep listening all month for more information and tips about heart health.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter.